Police and firefighters converging on the city's central station after reports of explosion-like noises and possible gunfire, prompting evacuation of the main square in Brussels. Local media reports there say a person wearing an explosive belt was neutralized. Belgian police will only say so far that an incident involving an individual was under control. Belgium has been on high alert since twin suicide bombings last year on the Brussels subway and an airport. 2 congressional elections underway today, including a Georgia seat. Democrats hope to flip.
A district the president won by 1 point. It's obviously going to be competitive.
White House spokesman Sean Spicer says special elections generally don't predict future results. Fox's Evan Brown is live in Sandy Springs, Georgia.
And Lisa, if there's one thing voters agree on in this special congressional race between Republican Karen Handel and Democrat John Ossoff, it's that the campaign ads were just too much to take.
And there's been a lot of coercion. There's been a lot of calls and texts and people sending information. But at the end of the day, we just have to come out here and do what we do best, vote.
Early voting here in Georgia's 6th district was quite a successful venture. 30% of registered voters here came out. Turnout today might be hindered. It's been raining horribly, though, all through the lunch breaks. Lisa.
Thanks, Eben. South Carolina voters choosing between millionaire developer Ralph Norman, who says he supports President Trump, and former Goldman Sachs tax advisor Archie Parnell. Mick Mulvaney, who's now the White House budget chief, was the first Republican to hold that seat in more than a century. A down day on Wall Street at the closing bell. The Dow down about 61 points, but oil prices had a plunge today of about 2%. Fox News, fair and balanced.
If you run your own business, when you're not on the job, you're on the road. In your van. Signs that say detour and do not enter are just plain bad for business. Well, here's a sign that's great for business. It says 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance on Mercedes-Benz Sprinter or Metris vans. Powerful, capable, and affordable. That's Mercedes-Benz Van Power. With pioneering safety technologies and low total cost of ownership, Mercedes-Benz vans are the right choice for your business. Check out the full lineup of Mercedes-Benz vans starting at just $25,995. 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance. That's van power for all. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Starting at price refers to base model Metris worker cargo van. Excludes all options, taxes, title registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Please see your dealer or go to mvvans.com for further details and exclusions.
Senate Republicans plan to unveil their version of an Obamacare replacement on Thursday. Democrats say it's being written in secret.
They're purposefully sabotaging the health care system just to try and get a mean bill passed.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer wants a public hearing. House Speaker Paul Ryan.
We are engaged in nothing short of a rescue mission to finally bring relief to Americans struggling under this law and to give everyone access to the care that they need.
Also pledging at a manufacturing summit to get tax reform done this year. The White House says it'll keep up the political and economic pressure on North Korea after the death of American college student Otto Warmbier.
We will continue to hopefully build on the relationship and the dialogue that we've had with China. I think there have been some positive steps that they've taken both at the UN and economically to help strengthen the case against North Korea.
This after a string of missile tests. White House spokesman Sean Spicer won't say what other steps may be possible. Warmbier was sent home with severe brain damage more than a year after North Korea detained him, ultimately sentencing him to 15 years hard labor over allegations he tried to steal a propaganda poster while he was on a tour.
One day after Warmbier died in a Cincinnati hospital, Young Pioneer Tours announced the change on its website, saying the risk for Americans visiting North Korea has become too high. The 22-year-old college student was detained in January of last year, accused of trying to steal a propaganda sign from a hotel and sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. Warmbier's father accused Young Pioneer Tours of luring his son to the north and said the China-based company promised its customers were never detained. The tour company still touts North Korea as one of the safest places on earth to visit, provided travelers obey the laws. Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
Recapping the breaking news out of Brussels, Belgium, where the main square's been evacuated after what may have been an attempted attack at a train station. Police will only say it's under control. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by,
Oh, boy.
What?
If you're looking for something to do to celebrate the 4th, the Champaign County Freedom Celebration has exciting events planned just for you. All of the day's events, including the Celebration Parade, 5K Race Walk, or evening program, would certainly not be possible without the support of our corporate sponsors and community volunteers like you. It's not too late to get involved. All happening at the University of Illinois. For more information, visit July4th.net or call 217-531-3777.
Kyle is a professional dog trainer.
Sit down. Roll over. Good.
When it comes to canine obedience, he's your best friend's best friend.
Whoa, such a good girl.
And in his personal time, Kyle's a personal trainer.
Nice work on those planks, guys. Now roll over and give me 25 push-ups. 1, 2, good. Hey, keep that caboose down.
You see, no matter who or what he trains, Kyle knows how to get results. But when it comes to mortgages, he's less confident.
Guilty as charged.
Fortunately for Kyle, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so he can understand the details and know he's getting the right mortgage.
I like it, people. Who wants a treat?
Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Go to rocketmortgage.com today.
Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Take two. Check two. Syphilis. We figured it out. It is not our fault.
No.
It's not your fault. Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Cheap Power. Trust the experts at Cheap Power Service Experts to keep you cool all year long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at cheappower.com. Chance of rain tonight, low of 64. Wednesday, sunny, clear, high 89. A low of 69. Thursday, warm, hot, high 92, low of 72. Right now, 88, partly cloudy in Champaign-Urbana.
The Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lante, Jeremy Warner. We've got a couple of guests coming in today that I'm going to challenge to either a push-up, just like maybe 10 quick push-ups, or what do you call that, little arm wrestling with Nick Allegretti?
You should try it with your right arm.
Yeah, I'll do
the one that's been bothering you.
That I can't even lift like 10 pounds on. Now it's going to be good. We've got some football players coming in studio today. A lot to talk about. The NBA continues to heat up. I know Jimmy Butler's name out there as well. But the big news centers around Illinois football today. You had a chance to go and visit with Josh Whitman, of course, Director of Athletics. I always hate that term, Athletics Director, at University of Illinois, and we've got some plans coming.
I am looking forward to Nick Allegretti, Dre Brown joining us in studio. Nick has taken over for Joe Spencer as the president of the Lift for Life, uplifting athletes here on campus. And Dre Brown, I'm excited to talk to him because we always talk about Mikey Dudek and Chase Crouch coming back from injury. Haven't talked much about Dre.
We haven't.
It's like the Dr. Dre song, Forgot About Dre.
We forgot about Dre.
Yeah, we don't talk about him very much. So I'm looking forward to talking to those two guys in studio. We'll talk with Cody Westerland, 670thescore.com at 4:05 about the Bulls, all the rumors going on. What is realistic?
Right.
Is Jimmy Butler going to be a Bull on Friday? Because I think he is.
Yes.
But there's a lot of smoke. It's fun to talk about.
It is fun, though.
It's fun to throw about. But what is the realistic expectations for him going into the NBA draft? But there's a lot of rumors going around. We'll talk about those with Cody Westerland. But yes, leading off the show, we'll talk about Josh Whitman, who had a media sit-down today.
Okay.
Invited all the media to sit down at the table today at Bielefeld Athletics Administration Building and just had an hour plus of just our questions. It was an informal setting, but he talked a lot about the program, his first year here. He's now done with his first calendar year here.
Okay.
He's finally going to take a vacation.
Oh, good.
Good
for him.
Hope and a 9-month-old baby are going to Switzerland.
Wow. They're hitting it up big.
Would you have taken?
No, absolutely
not.
I
wouldn't want to go more than 2 hours with a baby.
Nope.
I was terrified to go to Florida.
No.
But hey, good for them. They're getting away for a little bit.
That's exactly right. Well, good for him, but yeah, you're right. No way. No way am I doing that with a 9-month-old.
He wants to get off the grid a little bit, so I can't blame him for that.
Amen.
But the big news that came about this, and I've kind of known about this for a while, and I've written about it on my site, is that Illinois football, their football facility renovation plan has changed.
Okay.
Their original plan that they announced in October, some of the early drawings they had built up, or that their football performance center basically is what we should call it, where the players train, where the players meet, where the coaches have their facilities, all of those things, locker rooms. It was going to be in the south end zone. It was going to be part of a huge $132 million renovation in the south end zone. That has changed.
Okay.
They are postponing that part of the project, the east side as well, the renovation of that side as well, and instead they're going to do a $60 to $80 million new construction of a football performance center that is attached to Irwin Indoor Facility, which, if you don't know, it's on Peabody and 4th Street right there, where they practice indoors when it's raining.
Fields,
Yeah, the practice fields, they'll basically take up some of those practice fields and put a huge state-of-the-art football facility.
Interesting.
Why?
Yeah, why? There's a couple of questions I have about it.
When you had the south end zone, you had limited space.
Sure.
And the way you went was up. Like that was how you did it. Plus you had to dig, you had to tear down. You just build.
Yeah,
right?
There's just grass there and you go with it.
You build and attach. I mean, that's a lot easier.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot more functional. Instead of players having to go from a first floor to a fourth floor to go talk with Lovie Smith, now there's 2 big floors.
That's awesome.
With expansive areas, right?
That'll look cool.
This is going to be big floors of things where they have more area to do things, more surface area to do things. The functionality of it is a lot better, and it's a lot more cost efficient.
You're right.
They're going to be $60 to $80 million. That's the figures Josh Whitman put on this.
$50 million, couldn't it?
Well, yes, but that doesn't include the renovation of the east and the south, which is eventually going to happen.
Right.
But the more important thing right now is I know fans are upset that maybe their side, their east or the south side, isn't getting renovated when they told it was likely going to happen.
Are you kidding me? I get to keep the P-wall.
We'll talk about that.
I get the P-wall.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second.
All right.
It is more important to invest in the players.
Yes, it is.
Because if you get players, you win games.
Yep.
You win games, fans come. If fans come, you're making money.
Yep.
If you're making money, you can upgrade those facilities. Right? I mean, that's what you need. Wins get people in the seats.
No, without a doubt.
Not comfy seats or nicer bathrooms.
Not at all.
Those things can help.
Yeah.
Those things are nice to give to your fans when you have that money. It is more important to invest into this. And this is what Lovie Smith want. They want to cross the country, hit up some of the best programs in the country, whether it's Penn State, Nebraska, Kansas State had a nice renovation, Oregon, Clemson, all these different programs. And they found that this would work the best for them.
I know as a season ticket holder, we were given a questionnaire, and basically it told you, all right, if we did this to your section and increased cost to this, are you still willing to pay, or are you willing to up the ante, if you will? And I have no idea how everybody else voted, but it was one of those situations where I'm sure they took that to heart and realized, okay, this is what the fans say. But like you said, I think it is more important that the players have somewhere to go and they have something to look at when they come on a recruiting visit. Yes, the stadium means a lot. That still means a lot, and that is an eyesore to sit in that stadium and look down at the horseshoe, if you will. That is not that pleasant to look at. And the east side, and all you have to do is now look to the west side and then look back to the east and realize how much more impressive the west looks compared to the east. So without a doubt, that needs to be done in the next 5 years or so, if that can be done. But for right now, I think that will be a really cool look to be able to drive there on those roads and see that huge facility. I remember when the football indoor came in with Ron Zook, I believe it was, and seeing that. Or it was Turner. I'm sorry, I said Zook. With Ron Turner, and I remember seeing that. We took a tour of that as the media, and I thought, this is really cool. This has got to be something that a recruit would love to see. And now you go in there and look at it, and I've been in it within the last year and a half, and it's still the same, basically, but compared to probably what you see at other universities, what these recruits see, not Lante, but what these recruits see at other universities, I'm sure what they have blows away what we have.
Oh, Illinois has bottom 3 facilities
in the Big Ten.
I mean, when you talk about the stadium's nice.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. The stadium is good. Now, they need parts of it.
They do.
That players don't see.
Right.
That doesn't matter in recruiting.
Correct.
Those things, yeah, they need tweaking. They need to renovate some of those parts in the East and South Side. And for fans who sit there, sorry.
Yeah.
But it will happen eventually. But more important to your program is getting what will get players here.
Absolutely.
And Illinois' offices are from the 80s.
Yes.
You walk into that football office, it's the 80s. The meeting rooms are MAC level.
Wow.
I mean, there are programs in the MAC that are better than what Illinois has, guys.
That's interesting.
They need, if you're going to hire and spend all this money on Lovie Smith and his staff, and Josh Whitman said this today, if you're going to spend all that money and not invest into them otherwise, that's like running the first 50 meters of a 100-meter dash.
And then stop.
And then just stop.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no, you got to keep investing into them. And what he said is now we need fans to buy in. I know we don't have the wins yet.
Yes.
But we are spending the money on this program. We are spending the money on the coach. We have brought in a coach with credentials that we've never seen at this university before. We know it's going to take time. It is going to take time, but we need fans to show up
absolutely
to help us fund these things. We're showing it to you. You got to bring it back to us as well. Now, Illinois, year 3, year 4,
right?
Got to start winning some football.
You
games.
do. You totally
and
do.
You got to show some fun, some excitement on the field as well. And hopefully they'll do that over the next couple of years. But they also need fans to buy in. And
yes,
he basically said, "Hey, I hired Lovie. You guys showed up for the North Carolina game. You had an increase in attendance last year.
Yeah, we had an uptick.
We need to keep that going. You need to keep that going.
I can't speak for everybody, but, I tailgate out there with a bunch of people, and and with some of them that are big donors and some people that are like me that don't give a lot of money. But it is one of those situations where when you talk to those people, and I remember talking last year, and I kind of did, not a survey, but I kind of wanted to get the idea of what people thought about not only bringing Lovie in, but eventually updating things as they go along. And I think I agree with you, and I think most of the, my crew I always talk about that sits there in the horseshoe, I think we're fine. As long as the product on the field's fine, I don't care what my seat looks like.
I mean, what is more important to you?
Absolutely. I want to win
Trying
a game.
to get players or having a nicer, comfier, better-looking seat?
I want to win games. That's exactly what I want to do, and you've seen it enough. When Illinois wins games, when there's an excitement level for that Carolina game, there was an excitement level for that people showed up. And that's what you not only have to start doing with fans more often, but then you have to, Lovie has a job of keeping the people there. And that means winning a game or two. In terms of winning a game, maybe you shouldn't win, but also starting to win 6-7 games a year. And that's hopefully what he'll be able to do in year 3, year 4, year 5 as we go down the stretch. But it will be interesting to see. And listen, I speak for me only, but I am fine with what the stadium looks like right now. I know from the eye, aesthetically, it needs updates on the south and east.
Come on, that North Carolina game, when it's full,
it was awesome.
That's great.
It was awesome.
I mean, yeah, that west side is great.
Yes, it is.
I still think the north side, even though the students are a little off, when it's full in there,
it looks great.
That's intimidating, and that is an advantage on one side of the field. You just need people in it. When people are in it, that's a cool place
What's
to be.
one way to hide an eyesore? You hide it. You get people in front of it.
I don't know if it's even an eyesore.
It's not. It's totally not. I'm fine with where
a
I sit.
horseshoe's a little, but not like ridiculous.
It could be updated. There's no doubt, but I don't care. I would rather sacrifice my seat to win games on a field any day of the year. So I'm excited to hear this. I'm excited to go forward. I guess one question I'll ask.
Wait, can I get two things out?
Yeah.
The project will start next year.
Okay.
Construction will start next year. It'll be done by 2019.
Wow.
That'll be the other thing. This can be a quick project because it's just construction. Yeah. But it's going to have all the bells and whistles. I mean, look up Kansas State, their facility. What they've done was $65 million. It is state of the art.
Cool.
And part of this, and Josh Whitman doesn't necessarily love this part of it's bells and whistles.
Okay.
I mean, part of it is just eye candy.
Right.
But that's what it matters in recruiting. I can tell you that.
Yep.
Kids tell me, parents tell me, when they walk into Illinois, it is not to the level of the schools they're trying to beat in recruiting. And for kids, it means, wait, they're not investing as much in us as these other programs are. So it's more a symbol. I mean, there is functionality to it.
Sure.
There's definitely functionality to it, but there's a symbol of it. When, Penn State is investing this, or Michigan State and Wisconsin are investing this, and then Illinois is trotting out these rinky-dink facilities.
No. You're not going to win recruits.
I know the weight room's great.
Yeah.
But that's one thing.
That's one thing.
They need much more to add to that performance.
Man, and I can honestly say last year was the first time I had been in that north end underneath where the students sit, and that is beautiful. That weight room's cool. They've got the way they did that is cool. And then there's a point where it just stops and it goes back to the 80s. And that's what you're talking about, updating that. I guess my question to you would be this. I know this was initially projected as about a $135 million project. I love how we just throw numbers around. How cool that is. Yeah, just $135 million. Is it a situation where they lack funding? Was that asked today?
I think it saves money. And I do think Illinois, that was a big chunk of change to ask donors for.
That's huge.
So you got to prioritize.
Well, keep in mind, you're coming, 5, 6, 7 years off the renovation of the West Side plus the State Farm Center. I mean,
so
these big donors have been hit hard.
Yeah, bite off what you can chew.
Yes.
Right? And right now, I think they can chew this. Plus, there are other things they need to do.
Okay.
Baseball stadium.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's going to be put in front of the East or the South Side, but you got to start investing in that. You got to start soccer and track are in the same facility. That's not really ideal.
Not at all.
Kenny Gym is ridiculously old.
It really is.
Right? Before any of us were born,
yes,
that thing had been used for 50 years.
Isn't that crazy?
Right? I mean, they need to invest in some of their other programs as well, and this gives them a little bit more money. This gives them a little bit more flexibility.
Absolutely.
Than investing $135 million into one big project. Plus, at some point, and I asked Josh about this, they're going to have to do a basketball facility.
Sure.
Because he said right now he doesn't think it's a disadvantage, but he doesn't think it's an advantage.
Fair enough.
I think it's going more towards disadvantage than advantage. Because you see what Nebraska, Michigan State, Penn State doesn't have a good one, but when you're in the company of Penn State,
right,
you need to start looking at that too, because it's been 20 years since you started that thing, and there hasn't been much change to it.
Which is amazing, because I remember going into that thing when it was new and thinking, man, this is sweet. Gym on each side, offices on each side, but now you look at it and probably compared to the others, it's not even close. So the indoor football facility will stay the same, right? They're just going to add to it.
Yeah, I asked if they'd renovate. He said no plans at this time, because it's an 80 yards field.
Yeah, right, which I always wondered
about.
And
the roof is a little low.
Okay.
Should have thought about that when they first put it in.
A little strange.
I think they didn't want to block any of the columns from the street.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But they have a fence up by the street now. So it didn't make any sense.
Who knows? But it's there. It's there, and now they'll add on. So this thing will be done by 2019.
Yeah.
So we're talking that recruits can start enjoying this. Maybe not.
They'll be a part of it.
Yeah, it'll be right. Exactly. So, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. And hey, listen, it's still $60 to $80 million. That's a lot, and you can get a lot done with that much money.
Whitman also talked about the football program and how this is a process. It's going to take some time, but they invested heavily in this. But that with Ron Turner, first 2 years were not very good, right?
No.
0-11, 3-8. But then year 3, they were able to turn it around, and there was a belief within that building. He said that same thing is going around. That same culture change is happening with Lovie Smith. But he said the fans need to buy into this as well. They need to show up, because if recruits show up and it's a half-empty stadium, it doesn't help. So
that's tough.
That's the message he was sending today when it comes to that. When it comes to Simon Sianovich and settling, basically he said the university just wanted to get past it.
Okay,
it was
fair
lingering
enough.
for 2 years. Wanted to get past it, and I asked him, does this open the door for more players to do this? And he goes, I don't think it opens the door any more than it already is.
Okay.
He said there will be more cases, there will probably be more and more, but he doesn't think that the settlement and the guidelines they put on it will open up the door anymore.
That's fair enough. And that is one of those things where you kind of forgot about the Sianovich thing, but they hadn't. Yeah. That thing was still dwelling, even though in the general public, we really didn't hear much about it. And then all of a sudden, here it is again, but it's done. You're right. Yeah. And I know some people, our own Harry Black had issues with that as a former athlete and football player, but it's done. You move on. You get past that little 2 or 3 year era there, or at least a year or two, where it was just a black eye. It seemed like almost every month we were talking about something negative with Illinois, whatever program. It just seemed like there was just negative after negative, and now hopefully this is a sign that we're just moving forward.
It just takes time.
It does.
And I know it's painful. Even with basketball. I mean, Brad Underwood's got some excitement.
Yeah.
That's going to take time to turn them into, and I know it's difficult after hearing that for the last decade with that program.
Right.
But, I mean, it takes time to turn these things around. Basketball quicker than football, but there's an expectation of instant gratification out there that it should be turned on right now, and that's just not the case when it comes to these kind of programs.
It is amazing how I long for a day where Illinois football is a favorite at home almost every time. where you show up to tailgate not just to have fun and tailgate. You show up with a purpose like you did against North Carolina. You're there to have fun. You're there to see friends. You're there to have a beer, but you're also there to go into that stadium and watch the Illini football team compete. And unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot of that in the last 5 to whatever years. It would be so awesome, and I know Illinois fans will come. We know they will.
Yeah.
If Illinois gets to that point where they're competitive every week.
Has any part of you changed that Josh Whitman has made the right steps?
No, not at all. I mean, in other words, yes, he's made the right steps. I don't know if I answered that correctly. I'm complete confidence in him. I think he's a guy that really, really evaluates. We talk about evaluation for coaches. I think Josh Whitman evaluates each step, and I'm sure he's got a lot of people on his right and left that help him with these decisions, but I think he's making the right decisions in mind. I think Josh Whitman understands how an athletic program makes money and should make money, and it starts with your big your big program like football. Yeah. And that's why he's investing in it to say, all right, if this makes money, guess what, everybody else? Yeah. You're going to make money.
He said today, and this is almost the quote that really stuck out, we need to make football and basketball work.
Yes.
And I know that number one in fans' hearts is basketball.
Right.
Football is so important.
It's huge.
Because the money that sport can make makes everybody rich.
Without a doubt.
It's why you see football programs that historically don't have good basketball programs. All of a sudden, those basketball programs have phenomenal facilities.
Exactly.
You know, like it's Alabama or Florida or something like that. Like those programs, all of a sudden, they're sitting in a bunch of money.
Yep.
You got to take care. And that's why the first thing he did when he started the job was get rid of Bill Cubitt and hire Lovie Smith and say, let's take this seriously.
Let's do it.
This is the number one priority.
Anxious to hear what everybody out there says. Season ticket holders, what do you think? 359-2255. You can weigh in on the Chief Bauer text line. You can also call us on the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line. Again, 217-359-2255.
You can also weigh in on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Tay and J Show. I tweet at J Warner Scout.
At Lon Tay, ESPN. See you.
Download the WSJK app and listen to us anywhere in the world. Get our podcast at ESPNCU.com or find us in iTunes. That's all powered by GTPS Insurance. You can watch us on YouTube. Just search Tay and J Show. Austin Berkland on updates today. Harry Black and Lon Tay doing the Arrow. Matty Button's back there and Jacob Diaz as well.
And I just want to say one thing before we get off the air right now before this break. Anthony Rizzo, you are dirty. It is the Tay and J Show.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals. A nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
The official fan store of the Fighting Illini is moving. Game Day Spirit, currently located at 1422 South Neal Street, is moving to the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign this July. In the meantime, they're preparing for the lowest prices of the season to be available during their moving sale in June. Stay tuned for more information and follow them on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram by searching Game Day Spirit. Stay in the know of all things Game Day and all things Fighting Illini with Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini.
Eat, shop, play, and explore. Rediscover Campus Town. Every Thursday now through August 17th during 13 Thursdays. Summer's finally here and we're loving the specials in Campus Town. You can find great deals on clothing, accessories, and food each Thursday during 13 Thursdays at participating businesses. Save big this summer when you shop and eat your way through Campus Town. And enjoy 1 hour free parking at the campus parking deck located on 6th and Healy each and every Thursday. Visit ChampagneCenter.com. 13 Thursdays is presented by the Champagne Center Partnership.
Get strong and stay strong at your Champagne Curves. Ladies, rethink your fitness strategy. Let your Curves coach show you the health and beauty benefits that working out offers. For a limited time, new members can join. Get personal instruction and your best body all summer long for just $10. 30-minute cardio, strength training, stretching, and meal planning can get you where you want to be this season. Curves is for women only. At last, feel free to sweat. Curves, when you just want to work out. Located behind Biaggi's in Champaign. Call or go to curves.com today.
Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series, and maybe sooner than we think.
It's our trip to Wrigley Field, Chicago. You can join us on Wednesday, July 5th. The Cubbies take on Tampa Bay at 1:20. Our trip to see the world champion Chicago Cubs. Rooftop tickets and motor coach to Chicago. All your food and beverages are included. Pay online or come by the Stevie J Broadcasting Studios to pay by check. All your details at StevieJ.com. StevieJay.com.
At Lowe's, we know that pros need to be ready. Ready to roll felt, ready to cap, ready to shingle. And during Lowe's Ready to Raise the Roof event, pro customers should get ready to save big with up to 20% on GAF shingles every day when they buy in bulk. Plus, now through July 16th at Lowe's, pros can save up to 20% off select Hitachi nailers, compressors, and power tools. See the Pro Desk in store for details. Shingle offer applies to contractor packs. Selection varies by store, U.S. only.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with your 3:30 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent John Kaywood. Life insurance is one of those subjects that most people don't want to change the subject, rather than admit they probably don't have enough. Find out about how the benefits of life insurance can live on for your family. Call State Farm agent John Kaywood in Champaign at 217-367-1105. The number 29 player in the country and the number 1 point guard in Illinois, Ayo Dosunmu, is on an unofficial visit to campus today. Ayo is from Morgan Park and plays AAU for the Mac Irvin Fire. Josh Whitman has made an announcement during a media roundtable this morning. Here is the excerpt from Jeremy Warner's article on IlliniInquirer.com. The Illini football program will have a new facility. The Illini will have indefinitely postponed their plans for the Memorial Stadium renovation and now will construct a standalone football performance center attached to Irwin Indoor Practice Facility. Construction on the project is expected to start in 2018 and be completed in 2019. The plan could save the Illini money. Whitman said the football performance center will cost for about $60 million to $80 million. The Cubs were the victors in their second straight game last night. The second was against the San Diego Padres. Contreras hit a bomb in his one-year anniversary of hitting his first ever home run in the big leagues. Rizzo hit a bunt single against the shift and a triple. The Cubs are now one game above 500. The two teams lock up again tonight. It's Chasen versus Montgomery. Listen on US 105.9 at 7:10. The Cardinals begin a series against Philadelphia Phillies tonight from the city of brotherly love. Philly have lost 11 of their last 12 games. Cardinals have just won 2 of their last 12 road games. It's Hellickson versus Leak, and the White Sox are playing the Twins tonight from the Twin Cities.
Rizzo's dirty.
No, he's not.
And you can always win great Illini apparel, gear, and novelty items each week. You can do it right here with the Tay and J Show. Play Game Day Spirits Wheel of Games in the 5 o'clock hour to win great Fighting Illini prizes. We're not going to do this today or tomorrow because we don't have a 5 o'clock hour. But before the week is done, we will do this. Game Day, they had great assortment of Father's Day stuff. You can still get all that stuff for your dad. Just because Father's Day is past doesn't mean you can't go buy him some stuff. Game Day Spirit. It's located on Green Street on South Neal and online at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit's a proud sponsor of ESPN 93.5's Tay and J Show, and we appreciate them, believe me. And it's the official fan store of the Fighting Illini.
Ayo Dosunmu on campus today for an unofficial visit, a big one for Brad Underwood and the Illini staff. Their top priority in the class of 2018, top 30 point guard, top 30 prospect overall, and a point guard at Chicago Morgan Park. Scout has him as the 8th ranked point guard, which means there's a lot of good point guards.
Yes.
If there are 8 in the top 29.
No doubt.
But that's a big visit.
Yes.
We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but it'd be big to get him in early, especially, but I don't know if that'll happen because he's probably going to go on the recruiting trail in July and earn a lot more Power 5 offers, high major, blue blood offers. Just got a Kansas offer. Xavier is in really good there. But this is a big one for Illinois to kind of set the tone with him.
I have 2 thoughts to this. Number one, I want to get back to Ayo, and today I had a thought about Illinois and if they would land a kid like him going forward in the future. But wouldn't it be cool on these recruiting visits if they brought him in here to be on the show? I think that would be awesome.
They can't do that.
Oh. I think Ayo, those guys would love it.
Do you want them to commit NCAA violations?
Yes! Well, just come in. We can ask Ayo about the weather.
Yeah, they can't. They can't talk to media, I think, on visits.
Oh, dang it. How cool would that be, though?
And Illinois can't promote that they're on visit.
I gotcha. Okay.
Right.
So, all right. So, we're not going to be hearing any recruits anytime soon then on the Tay and J Show. Man, I think I could sell them. I think if they got in here on that mic over there, you and I think by the end of the show, they'd be like, I'm in. I'm coming to Illinois. I want to be on that show.
What's your sell to Io DeSumo?
Just the fact that he could come on the show anytime. I mean, Io anytime, man. Hey, and I've heard, by the way, I have heard so many people comment on Malcolm Hill coming in and talking to us. I am so glad that everybody enjoyed that.
He's a different kind of interview because it's like you're just talking on the couch chatting with Malcolm.
Yes, he's so chilled.
Right.
He reminds me of a
like
buddy
he's
of
actually
mine.
leaned back in his chair. If you saw it on YouTube, he's just kind of like, hey, what's going on?
And then every once in a while, he'd look at you, you'd say something, and you wouldn't think that he understood what you said, kind of. Yeah. And he'd be like, yeah, well. And then he'd start going into it, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. He reminds me of a good friend of mine, Marcus Timmons, that played basketball at SIU. Yeah. Same type of attitude, just chill, just sitting back, relaxing. So today, I let my mind wander a little bit with regards to what have we moaned and whined about for 5 years? No guards at Illinois. No top-notch guards. And I'm sorry, Tracy, I don't mean to rip on you guys, but there's really been nothing that you watched on the basketball court that made you think, all right, Illinois is right where every other college is in terms of getting strong guards. And today I let my mind wander to an Io DeSumo on this team with a Trent Frazier, with a Mark Smith, with a DeMonte Williams, with a Tijon Lucas down the road.
For me, it's Mark Smith changes the game.
Without a doubt.
I mean, Tijon's a good point guard.
Yes.
No, hopefully he's like a Glenn Watson type.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yep. I mean, Glenn's a really good, solid to good Big Ten point guard,
I think
right?
Tijon has the kind of characteristics that will keep him on the court more than you think.
Yes.
He
plays defense.
He plays defense. He hustles. He can get you.
Makes everybody better.
And that's exactly right. I think he will play more than people think.
Trent, very good shooter. Can he attack at this level?
Right.
That's going to be interesting to watch because physically he needs to add a little bit, but he can be an electric playmaker at times. It'll be fun to watch him progress. Can he be a more dynamic JCL? Because JCL could shoot the lights out, take over games with his shooting. He also disappeared at times and hurt you on the other end. So it'll be interesting to see where Trent, struggles is strength and defense.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see him. DeMonte's got the body, he's got the physical attributes, but can he be a great basketball player? We started to see that before he got hurt,
right?
And now we'll see how that impacts him. But Mark Smith, there are very few doubts that he has the athleticism, he has the IQ, he has the strength.
Right.
I mean, that is a lead guard. Io DeSumo, that is a lead guard. Those are the kind of guys you need that can hit you from every angle of the basketball court, score from every angle. Malcolm didn't have that quickness, that speed. These guys can have that, right? I mean, Demetri McCamey was a heck of a basketball player that we take for granted. Illinois needs a lead guard like that again. And I think they do in Mark Smith, and I think he's got the potential to be even better than that.
I will not give away any secrets to Derek Piper's article today on IlliniInquirer.com.
Ding. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's here. But basically, one of the snippets was he's not afraid of the competition. I don't think Io is going to say, well, I'm not going to Illinois because they've got Trent Frazier and they've got DeMonte Williams and Mark Smith and Tijon. I don't think he's worried about that. I think he thinks in his mind that wherever he goes, he will earn playing time and be able to play a lot of minutes. Now, Talon, I'm going to say it wrong. Talon Tucker, what is it?
Talon Horton Tucker.
Horton Tucker. What does his visit mean? Obviously, Io is the guy that he's kind of the guy in this class. What would Tucker's mean? What would his visit mean for Illinois? Obviously, a wing.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything.
Okay.
If you ever see Talon Horton Tucker, he doesn't look like he doesn't have the body type of a big time player. But when he gets on the court, he's smooth.
He does everything right.
Skilled.
Yep.
He's tough. He's a good shooter, great passer, good rebounder. We talked about Jordan Goodwin a little bit in those rounds.
Right.
He's not quite as good as Jordan Goodwin.
Okay.
I've always kind of called Tim Finke a poor man Sam Decker, and Sam Decker light was the term I used because I don't want to say poor man's because he's really good high major basketball player prospect. But I think Sam Decker was just another echelon, right?
5-star guy.
I think Jordan Goodwin's a different echelon than Taylor Horton-Tucker, but I think Tucker does a lot of similar things that Goodwin could do.
Got it. That'd be fair. So Io's on campus this week. So is Taylor. This is a big week for Brad Underwood. And it sounds like, from all indications with regards to Mark Smith and some of these other kids, that Brad Underwood knows how to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this staff and Brad Underwood in general, once they get their claws into these kids, I think they do a pretty good job of kind of understanding, and I'll even include Allstork in that the fact that it sounds like when they sit down with these guys, they've had a plan going in. They're not just, oh, by the way, Io is going to be here in an hour.
Yeah.
They know Io is going to be here in an hour, and they have a plan of attack on how to show him what he's going to be able to do for this Illinois program, and that's huge.
We got a texter about the renovation, the postponement of the Horseshoe and the east side of the stadium, but they're going to do the $60 to $80 million construction of a new football performance facility attached to Irwin Indoor. We were asking for fans' opinions, and one of them said, the best programs take care of their players because players equal wins and wins equals fans. As a season ticket holder in the Horseshoe, top row, right in the middle,
nice.
I was that excited for updated concessions, knowing that our player facilities were I wasn't that excited, given that our player facilities were severely diminished. I honestly believe if we had Big Ten football facilities, players commit on visits or soon after instead of having to have Lovey beat down their door. Luke Ford is a perfect example, in my opinion. I believe he at least waits to commit if our facilities are on par with other Power 5 schools.
Fair enough.
I don't think facilities get you recruits. I think having bad facilities can turn them away, though.
Right. I agree with you. I totally agree.
So you got to be on an even level.
Well, you have to. I mean, they don't want to go somewhere and look at something and say, all right, is this a second class?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Purdue.
Right,
Purdue's
exactly.
been that for a long time.
Exactly.
And they're doing a $50 million football facility, right?
Absolutely.
Michigan State has obviously done theirs since they've had all this success. So all these programs are putting their money into it. Illinois has got to do it, too.
That's cool. I don't know why that guy doesn't say hi to me because I'm on the front row. All you got to do is say hi as you go up to your back row.
Front row? Do you guys look down on back rowers?
Kinda. Kinda. I'm not going to lie to you.
You guys both meet at the P-Wall, though.
We do. We both meet at the... Actually, no. We've got a bond in the Horseshoe. I don't look down on anybody.
Is that the most exciting thing about this? Is that the P-Wall will remain?
The great thing is you drink beer, right? Tailgating. So you've got to pee when you go in. So it's not one of those situations...
That is science.
Absolutely. So it's not one of those where you're just trying to force yourself to go to the bathroom just to use the P-Wall. Yeah. You actually need the P-Wall. So that P-Wall becomes your friend. And it's
now,
great
for people
me.
who don't know, can you explain the P-Wall?
Yeah, basically you walk in, you step up on a little, like 2 foot, not 2 foot.
Which bathroom is this?
It's directly behind the Horseshoe.
Under the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, a little bit to the east.
Okay.
A little bit to the east, which is
I need to check out the P-Wall. I've never seen it.
You totally need to come up sometime. All I have to do is I take
is that
one
a date?
step.
Did we just set
Let's
a date
do it. Yeah,
at
come
the
up.
P-Wall?
Well, you're kind of one of those fancy people down on the field, walking around with your press pass and everything. I don't know if this Horseshoers
is it weird to share a pee at the P-Wall?
No, not at all. Not at all. You see, usually it goes like this. I walk in, I get my spot, and I'm like, man, can we just get a first down? And isn't that the truth? And then everybody starts talking. Or somebody's like, man, it'd be great if we could tackle somebody. I'm like, yeah, isn't that the truth?
It'd be great if Wes ran every once in a while.
I mean, and you get I get some solid radio discussion types in there, where you start thinking, all right, that's not a bad topic.
So how does it differ? How does the P-Wall differ than the trough?
Well, I think it's because there's water coming down in front of you, and you can pee straight up, down, side. You can do whatever you want. I mean, it's just a matter of you don't want it to come back on you.
Yeah.
So it's a little tricky.
Is there more danger, though, because that water is matriculating down?
You have to be a professional to use the P-Wall. So, but I always find it interesting when the little, like my boys walked in.
Do you remember
they're just like, whoa.
Do you remember the first time you took Andrew or Lucas?
I don't know if I do.
I was going to say, is that like a huge deal?
Oh, Andrew always wants to go to the bathroom. He's like, hey, Dad, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm like, that a kid. Go get part of that P-Wall. Yeah, I think Josh Whitman should be proud to keep that thing there.
They should have like little stickers to hit, right? It's kind of like at the carnival. And you have that water gun game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should get a prize or something.
What's amazing is, and this is how outdated these bathrooms are, there are 2 sinks There's one on one end, and there's one on the other. And for the most part, and I appreciate this because I can't stand guys that don't wash their hands. But they for the most part, everybody pretty quick with it. Boom, boom, grab a towel, get out of there. So it's a nice season. Of course, when you're not maybe getting 30,000 people at a game, it's pretty easy to go in and use the restroom. But yeah, the P-wall is the best, man. So I do not look down on that guy that sits up top. I do wonder.
Are there any other P-walls?
I don't know.
Is this a thing, or is this just an Illinois thing?
That's a good question.
Because
I'm not sure
troughs,
that I've ever...
plenty of people know troughs, and Wrigley Field is very famous for that. And there's troughs throughout Memorial Stadium on the east side.
I think now that you said that, I think that bathroom is the only bathroom I've ever used at Memorial Stadium.
Wow.
I think that's the case.
And you've gone to football games for
a long time. Now, I'm sure when I was younger and sat elsewhere, I'm sure I did. But for the most part,
even as a media member, if you're going in and you had to go pee real quick?
Well, media, I'd probably use up in the press box.
Well, that press box is long gone, so that bathroom doesn't exist anymore. That was when the trailer was on top.
Oh, my goodness. Man, I had it all back then, didn't I? That was so bad. I remember when you walk in and you'd eat. They gave you free food back then.
Is the P-wall the best urinating experience of your life?
Without a doubt. It's not even close. I mean, I've been to Wrigley. I've seen the troughs. I've seen all that stuff. I mean, it's not even close. That is worth going down to the Horseshoe. If you sit on the west or east side, you need to venture your butt down to the P-wall. Just do it.
Austin, this has got to be an intro tomorrow. All right? This is one of the best conversations we've ever had on the Tay and J Show.
Somebody texted in, P-wall means Lon can channel his inner fireman. It's the best, man. It's in and out. You're in and out.
And this is one thing that women just can't experience.
No, they can't, and I feel bad for them.
Yes.
They can't even come in and look at it.
Yeah, they give birth to our children.
Right.
And they can't even experience the glory of the P-wall.
Don't get the P-wall. It's too bad.
I guess you could if you're really good.
I mean, I get. Well, that's right. And
that'd be a heck of a talent.
I could just see guys going, whoa, what's she doing in here? All right, whatever works.
Take a shot.
Right. Let's see what you got.
If you want to weigh in, 359-2255, that's 217-359-2255.
Oh, man. I hope Io is not listening.
We'll sort through the NBA rumors. What's real, what's not, coming up next.
Jimmy Butler is going to the Sixers.
He's going to be a bull.
Okay. It's the Tay and J Show.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000. Or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
Hey, it's Stephanie Pratt with Coldwell Banker, the real estate group, your realtor that rocks the real estate market. I so love to cook and smoke. Meats, that is. I want you to be a rock and cook too, so I'm going to hook one lucky winner up with a master-built smokehouse smoker. Just listen for Stevie J in the morning and Tay and J in the afternoon to tell you the text. When they do, text a keyword to 359-2255 and you'll be entered to win. And let me rock your summer parties in a new home. Go to StephaniePrattHomes.com to contact me today. And for information on the smoker giveaway, go to ESPNCU.com.
Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
It's our trip to Wrigley Field, Chicago. You can join us Wednesday, July 5th. The Cubs take on Tampa Bay at 1:20. You can see the world champion Chicago Cubs, and the rooftop tickets include all your food and beverage. Pay online at ESPNCU.com or stop by our studios Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, 2702 South Boulder in Urbana. Again, join us July 5th, Cubs rooftop trip, ESPNCU.com for details.
Now listen to this crowd. Wow, they're on their feet.
This 4th of July, the Cardinals have you covered head to toe in true patriotic fashion. On Sunday, July 2nd, fans can take home an adult patriotic cowboy hat, courtesy of Brown & Crouppen Law Firm. Monday, July 3rd, enjoy Cooper Tire's post-game fireworks. And Tuesday, July 4th, adults and kids can add patriotic Cardinals socks to their wardrobe, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Powerade. That's July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
Tuesdays can't get any respect. Every week it's like, I can't believe it's only Tuesday. No one ever asks, how was your Tuesday? But now there is something exciting about Tuesday. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Get an extra $10 off our lowest sale price on an AC Precision tune-up. That means you'll get a $120 tune-up for only $59 when you book online today at chiefbauer.com. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Take that, Saturday.
From buyers and sellers inspections before the sale, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. We also provide radon testing with results back in 48 hours. From Champaign to Savoy and Gifford to Gibson City, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
Hey, Stephanie Pratt, the realtor that rocks with Coldwell Banker. The real estate group is hooking you up with a master-built smokehouse. Just listen for when the Stevie J Morning Show or Tay and J Show tell you to text. When they do, text the keyword that they'll give you to 359-2255, and you'll be entered. We'll give away the first smoker July 14th. You can get recipes that rock for summer cookouts and parties at StephaniePrattHomes.com. For more information on the smoker giveaway, go to ESPNCU.com. We will take those texts now. The keyword is smoke. So just text the keyword smoke to 359-2255, 217-359-2255. Again, 359-2255, and you'll be entered to win the Masterbuilt Smokehouse.
I love that we just keep getting texts on the P-Wall. We're done with the P-Wall conversation, I promise.
I don't know. We were talking about some, like, the best peas of your life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about movies.
Movies.
Yeah, and
because you always go through the popcorn and the drink
before you even get to the movie. Yeah, before you even get to the movie.
So the post-movie pee is really good. There's a post-other activity pee that's really good that we probably shouldn't talk about.
No, let's don't talk about that.
But I think people that know about it, you know what it is.
But the post-movie, and I was telling you guys that it hasn't happened often. It actually has happened since I've started doing this radio show. Because you and I sit in here and we chug, even though most people that listen to the show probably think I do drink beer during the show. I don't. We chug water on this show. So when I would go to a movie, on the occasion that I go to a movie after radio, it's like I'll get in there, I'll get my popcorn, my dew, my Milk Duds, I'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden, like you said, 30 minutes into the movie, I'm like, oh, crap. Like, I've got to go to the bathroom. And then you sit there and you try to figure out the proper time, like what chunk of 3 minutes am I going to miss of this movie that won't matter? Yeah. Even though I've never seen the movie and have no idea what's going to happen.
It's a tough call.
It is a tough call. Sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to go out and say, all right, I'm out. Yeah. I'm going to do it. Hopefully nothing big happens.
Yeah. And if not, you go watch it again.
You just watch it again. That's exactly right. All right, Jimmy Butler, where's he going? Is he staying with the Bulls?
I think so. There's a lot of rumors.
This is kind of fun, though.
There's a lot of rumors going around in the NBA. ESPN's Mark Stein and Ramona Shelburne report the Pacers and Lakers have talked about a Paul George trade in advance of the draft. Now, if you're the Pacers, what do you think the best you can get from the Lakers is? They're not giving up the number 2 pick for 1 year of Paul George.
I'll say this, though, before we dive into that, if I'm the Pacers, I'm doing this deal.
Yes.
Because you're going to lose him anyway.
Yeah, you don't get any compensation in the NBA.
And you're not going to win that. I mean, you're not going to still not win that at high level with Paul George next year anyway.
The best piece they can get, and it sounds like the Lakers are dangling him a little bit, is D'Angelo Russell.
Okay.
So if you get D'Angelo Russell and say the number 28 pick, which the Lakers own this year,
I would do it.
I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, there's salary filler in there, but that's a point guard that you think maybe can do something in the league and maybe be a piece of your next rebuild. And then a first round pick. I mean, it's 28. It's not going to be much. But the Lakers don't have a pick next year.
No.
And they know he's leaving.
Right.
Paul George is leaving.
Right.
And the Lakers just want to get him in there early so then they can sign him next year. But I would probably have to really consider that.
Okay.
A young player who's got some potential, a late first-round pick, and some salary filler.
Should we feel bad for the Pacers that he said this, or good that he said it? That he basically came out and said, you got me for 1 more year and I'm out.
It's better than leading them on and then leaving anyway.
Okay, that's
because
fair
at
enough.
least he gave them a chance to get something.
Okay.
Right? And for Paul George, the Lakers aren't going to give up key pieces.
Got it.
Like, I don't think D'Angelo Russell is going to be a key piece in what the Lakers are doing, especially with them probably adding Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it stinks for the Pacers regardless.
It does.
That, I mean, they had that 1 year. It was kind of like the Bulls under Rose. They had that 1 year where they competed with LeBron and the Heat.
Don't get defensive when I say this. All right? You have to promise me you won't get defensive. Is it ultimately good or bad for the league when you have guys giving ultimatums? When Paul George says, I'm going to the Lakers. Is that good or bad for the league?
I think it's, personally, I don't know, good or bad for the league.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I think this is all great for the league.
Yeah,
I think
they're talking about it.
This is all phenomenal for the league.
Without a
the
doubt.
NBA is a soap opera.
Mm-hmm. That's a great way to say it.
Maybe people think they're drama queens or whatever. If I have control, I have control over my career.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
If I get to a certain point, you have control over your career. If you are in that much demand, you have control over your career.
It's a good call.
Why should we hate that guys do this? Because they're leaving. Maybe if they're leaving your team.
Right.
But I think this is great for the league if you have Paul George going to the Lakers.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Sorry, Pacers fans. It's better if Paul George is in L.A.
I'm trying to think if that happens in other sports. I know in the NFL draft,
Eli Manning's demanding.
Eli Manning did it
because he's the number one pick.
Yep.
If you're in that much demand, you have leverage.
John Elway did it,
and when you have leverage, you should use it.
That's exactly right. I just don't know any other league. Like, does that happen in baseball where they sit there and say, "I am going to play for the Cardinals next year"?
I mean, if Lance Lynn right now said, "I'm not re-signing with you,"
well, no, that's fine. But I mean, in terms of he just absolutely picks out one team. If Lance Lynn says, "I am playing for the Yankees next year,"
well, let's go with Bryce Harper.
Okay, yeah, like Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper says, "I want to play for the Yankees."
Okay. Is that good or bad for the league?
I think it's phenomenal for the league.
Okay. I didn't know. I don't know.
Because it's drama, it's news.
True.
It's a superstar going to a super team. For Nationals fans, it stinks. But if you're asking me for the league,
right,
I think that's a good thing.
That's it. It's one of those where you start to kind of see it. You don't hear it a lot. But every once in a while you hear that, and it always makes me wonder because normally
this is free agency, right?
Well, normally guys become free agents and then they're bidded. I mean, there's teams that bid on them. Essentially,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did this in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's happened forever. Is basically that's kind of my point. It's happened forever. It doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, it always comes to my mind of, is that good for the league? Is that good to set an ultimatum to say, I'm Paul George and I'm playing only for the Lakers next year?
Because you could have like D'Angelo Russell could say, I want to go here.
Right.
It's kind of like, okay, D'Angelo.
Right.
Whatever. We got you under contract. Yeah. Where are you going?
Because if he said, I do not want to go to the Pacers.
But if LeBron does it.
Right. Then he's
Carmelo
earned.
did it in Denver.
Yeah, yes, he did. He's earned.
You have that kind of leverage, and at some point, when teams don't have control over you, they got to decide.
Yep.
And that's what the Bulls have to decide. They have 2 years left of Jimmy Butler.
Right.
But this is where he has the most value.
Yes, he
does. You don't want to be stuck in a position next year where he says the same thing that Paul George is telling you now.
Correct.
So I don't want to trade Jimmy Butler because he's one of the best players in the NBA. But now is the time to do it. Otherwise, you better find some good pieces to put around him.
No doubt.
And you don't have the assets to do it.
Right.
Because you got Rondo and Wade coming back next year, and then you have a 1-year window where you have cap space to go get somebody.
Wow.
And you're preying on Kyrie Irving or somebody like that to come with you. I'd rather use Jimmy Butler if I got the right price of a deal to start rebuilding this thing.
Okay.
Use him as an asset, but you got to get the right price, right?
Sure.
But just bringing this crew back for another year doesn't make any sense. And Jimmy Butler's only getting older.
Right.
There's only more chance of an injury. But if you get the right price, I think you got to make the move. Otherwise, you're in the same position the Pacers are in now next year.
We got about a minute. What teams ultimately could move with the Bulls? We've talked about the Timberwolves. People talk about Cleveland. There's nothing Cleveland can give
We'll
you.
talk about it with Cody Westland coming up next.
True.
But Cleveland would have to get a third team.
Okay.
And that includes Phoenix. That could include L.A.
Got it.
But the team that makes the most sense is the Boston Celtics. They have so many assets, nice young players, a bunch of high picks. They make the most sense.
Okay.
But is Danny Ainge finally willing to push those chips into the middle of the table and get a guy like Jimmy Butler? He's not going to have to push all those chips.
No.
But a couple of the big ones, it seems like they've been hesitant to do it so far.
All right, next hour, Cody Westerland, 670thescore.com. We'll start out talking Chicago Bulls. And at 4:30, excited for this, Nick Allegretti and Dre Brown, Illini football players, in studio talking about Lift for Life. We do it every year. It's always fun. Always love Joe Spencer coming in. We'll talk with Nick and Dre coming up next hour. It is the Tay and J Show.
At Lowe's, we know that pros need to be ready. Ready to roll felt, ready to cap, ready to shingle. And during Lowe's Ready to Raise the Roof event, pro customers should get ready to save big with up to 20% on GAF shingles every day when they buy in bulk. Plus, now through July 16th at Lowe's, pros can save up to 20% off select Hitachi nailers, compressors, and power tools. See the Pro Desk in store for details. Shingle offer applies to contractor packs. Selection varies by store, U.S. only.
Life is full of twists and turns. You can't see the unknown, but you can certainly prepare for it. Pekin Life Insurance Company offers a variety of term and whole life insurance policies that are designed to meet the needs of individuals and their families. Options include transitional life, universal life, preferred whole life, family term life, and many others. Visit PekinInsurance.com or ask your local Pekin Insurance agent about an affordable, beyond the expected life insurance policy that's right for you.
It seems like in every home, there's at least one room that's either too hot or too cold. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Mitsubishi Electric has your comfort solution. Mitsubishi Electric cooling and heating systems are up to 40% more efficient with no ductwork and whisper quiet. Individual room control, giving you the freedom to find your perfect comfort level and save money too. Make your whole home comfortable again. See Lance Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for your comfort solution and live better.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Lands is your local Mitsubishi Electric Diamond dealer. Our technicians are experts at solving your comfort needs, one room or your whole house. Let us show you how a Mitsubishi Electric Heating and Cooling System can save you money now. Your comfort is our priority. Call Lands today at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or find us online at landsinc.com. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Live from New York, the Fox Report.
And Lisa Brady. What may have been an attempted attack at the Central train station in Brussels.
The explosion, and it was a small explosion, took place in an underground area of the train station.
Mark Stone of Sky News. Witnesses say a man shouted Allah Akbar.
There is a report that he was wearing some sort of an explosive belt. He appears to have been tackled by soldiers who are a very, very regular occurrence right across Brussels and have been since the attacks of March last year.
No other injuries reported. The station and the main square were evacuated. A runoff election that's drawn national attention is in the home stretch in Georgia, where Democrats hope to flip a House seat. Fox's Eben Brown is live in Sandy Springs.
And Lisa, the polls will close here in 2 hours from now, and that will end what many political watchdogs have called the closest and costliest special congressional race ever, with well over $26 million spent by national political groups to try to take this seat. It's a longtime Republican stronghold recently held by now Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price. Republican Karen Handel is in a neck-and-neck contest with Democrat John Ossoff. Democrats say if they can win this district, it will prove a chink in President Trump's armor and foreshadowing of a 2018 midterm. Lisa.
Thanks, Eben. Voting also underway in South Carolina to fill what had been a longtime Democrat seat, flipped by Republican Mick Mulvaney, who's now the White House budget chief. Newly named Tropical Storm Cindy taking aim at the Texas-Louisiana border.
Make sure you are battening down any loose furniture.
New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu says they could get up to a foot of rain, some flooding already in southern Alabama. This as parts of the southwestern U.S. deal with extreme heat. Plunging oil prices drag down stocks. The Dow dropped 61 points. On the Fox Report, fair and balanced.
If you run your own business, when you're not on the job, you're on the road. In your van. Signs that say detour and do not enter are just plain bad for business. Well, here's a sign that's great for business. It says 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance on Mercedes-Benz Sprinter or Metris vans. Powerful, capable, and affordable. That's Mercedes-Benz Van Power. With pioneering safety technologies and low total cost of ownership, Mercedes-Benz vans are the right choice for your business. Check out the full lineup of Mercedes-Benz vans starting at just $25,995. 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance. That's Van Power for all. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Starting at price refers to base model Metris worker cargo van. Excludes all options, taxes, title registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Please see your dealer or go to mvvans.com for further details and exclusions.
So how hot is it? Fox's Jessica Rosenthal is live in L.A.
Lisa, cooling centers have been opened in parts of California and around Phoenix, Arizona to help people stay out of the heat. It could peak at 120 degrees in Phoenix, where American Airlines actually canceled dozens of flights. One of their regional jets can't handle temperatures above 118. In California, Steve Greenlee with the Independent System Operator, which manages the electrical grid, says they've issued a flex alert.
What we're asking people to do is just to ease up a little bit on their power use this afternoon in order to meet our high afternoon load because of the high temperatures.
It's also in effect tomorrow as well and may be extended depending on how long this heat wave lasts, Lisa.
Jessica, O.J. Simpson has a date with a parole board. Officials just announcing a July 20th hearing to consider releasing Simpson October 1st. He's serving 9 to 33 years for armed robbery and kidnapping, convicted of orchestrating a confrontation with sports memorabilia dealers in Vegas a decade ago. He was acquitted of murder 22 years ago in the killings of his ex-wife and her friend in 1995. Three-time Oscar winner Daniel Day-Lewis is retiring from acting. A spokesman releasing a statement saying he's immensely grateful to all of his collaborators and audiences over the many years, and that he'll have no further comment. He won his first Oscar for My Left Foot.
I love you, Eileen.
And I love you, Christy.
No, I really love you.
Then two more for Lincoln and There Will Be Blood. Day-Lewis is now 60. His final film, Phantom Thread, due out in December. The Ken doll is getting a makeover. Mattel introducing 15 new looks, different body types, hair colors, skin tones, eye colors. Part of the ongoing effort to make dolls more diverse. A year after Barbie got an overhaul. In New York, I'm Lisa Brady on Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight could get some thunderstorms around 6 or 7 o'clock. A low of 64 degrees. Wednesday warm, high 89, a low of 70. A little hotter on Thursday, high 91, a low of 73. Should cool down a little bit for a great weekend around the 80s. Right now, 87 and sunny in Champaign-Urbana.
Jeremy, it's not fair. It's not fair to everybody, but a lot of people compare me to the Ken doll.
With the man bun?
Yeah, right. They're like, Lon, you know, they modeled that doll after you, is what they said. I didn't believe it.
Especially the abs.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. I wonder if he has, like... Have you ever thought of, like, what is the strength of your body? I don't think I have one. I don't mean, like, physical strength. Like, what is... Like, if you bragged about one thing, what would you brag about? Besides the whatever. And if you're there, good.
The lack of hair on my head. That's a strength.
See, you and I would go... We would be, like, the... It's not passive-aggressive, but we'd go the other way. Yeah. We would, like, make fun of ourselves to point out the fact that we have no strength.
You can't not look like a certain you-know-what if you start bragging about yourself.
That's exactly right. So, yeah, all right. Well, I just thought that'd be kind of a cool little test.
All right, let's sift through these NBA rumors.
Do we get to play that song again?
No, we're not playing that song because it's so out of date.
I know.
I mean, none of those guys are on the team anymore.
Cliff and Urbana, I never realized the Ken doll had man boobs.
Man bun.
Nobody says man boobs.
Because you say you have man boobs. That's right.
Moobs. All right, we're done. I'm sorry, Cody.
Let's sort through these NBA trade rumors, especially the Bulls. There are plenty out there.
Yes.
Let's see if they actually get done, though. He's Cody Westerlund, 670thescore.com, covering the Chicago Bulls. Man, the NBA offseason's always fun with these trade rumors, especially Jimmy Butler, but never seems to happen so far, Cody.
Yeah, Monday was one of the more wild days in recent NBA memory between the Celtics and 76ers trade being official, David Griffin being out in Cleveland, and Jimmy Butler, I think, was linked to 3 teams in a matter of 8 or 9 minutes late in the afternoon in trade rumors, and after we had a NBA Finals that wasn't as quite as compelling on the court as most everyone hoped, the offseason's really bringing the heat right now, that's for sure.
What is realistic, Cody, for Jimmy Butler if he does not stay with the Bulls and he is dealt? What is a realistic destination for him?
I would still look at the Celtics, no doubt. They have a treasure trove of assets. They wanted Jimmy Butler a year ago on draft night and didn't get him. At that point in time, the Bulls and Celtics discussed Butler again. not quite as seriously leading up to last February's trade deadline, and the Celtics, they want a star. Look, they passed on Markelle Fultz, and they like Josh Jackson a lot, it sounds like, even though they can't get him in for a workout because of some basketball politics right now, it sounds like. But that's a team that when you move out of the number one spot and have the opportunity to draft the superstar of the draft and don't do it, that means you want an established superstar. And it looks like Paul George is going to end up in Los Angeles in summer 2018, maybe before then if he's traded to the Lakers. So it looks like the Celtics on the outside of the Paul George sweepstakes. That moves Jimmy Butler up a rung for the Celtics and maybe some other teams. So I still look to Boston. The other one is Cleveland. That was a fever pitch of trade talks yesterday, it sounded like, on David Griffin's end before he was basically pushed out, fired, whatever you want to say, not renewed with his contract. That was serious. The problem there is that Cleveland has no assets that the Bulls want. If the Bulls trade Jimmy Butler, that means they want to rebuild. Cleveland has a bunch of guys in their prime or guys who are veterans who are old. They have no first-round picks available till like 2021. So you would need a third team. That would be difficult. But if the Cavs could rope somebody in, a third team such as the Suns have been bandied about quite a bit because they have some young guys and assets, then you're talking about something that could be real. So I still look to the Celtics as the most likely destination if he's going to get traded, but look out for the Cavs and the three-team trade too.
Would you think Garpax is more incentivized to trade him now more than ever, or do you think they're more likely to just keep him and bring back last year's team?
I think the incentive is that this is marking the last great chance to get value for Jimmy Butler. I don't know if you can even get $1 on the dollar for him, but you can still get something that's close to 2 years left on his contract. So I think that's the urgency. And I think if you look at the NBA and the dynamics of it more, the way the league's going with three-point shooting and two-way players who can affect both ends of the floor, and the Bulls realize they don't have a lot of athleticism, like running the same team back in these meetings with Butler and Dwayne Wade, and when you realize that you remember not everyone was happy for long stretches of last season, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think that's the urgency. The drawback is this is a conservative front office, and they do not want to get stuck in a scenario where they get 50 or 60 cents on the dollar for Jimmy Butler and whiff on the main asset they get in a trade for them and then set themselves back a couple more years. Like, it has to be right for them to part with Jimmy Butler. I don't think they're out asking for an outrageous price, but they are asking for a high price. Sounds like 3 or 4 assets in a lot of these proposals. There's conflicting reports all over the place. And I understand if you really believe in a young player at number 3, like believe Josh Jackson's going to be a game changer and a multi-time all-star, then I think you can justify doing it for him and maybe another asset or something. But they want a high pick, high value on this trade return because the other part is Jimmy is their one asset. He's the one path right now to getting better and getting young stars down the line into Chicago. And if they mess this up, there's no turning back on that front.
Cody Westerland, 670thescore.com, covering the Bulls. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody Westerland. Say they don't trade him, and Jimmy Butler is a Bull on Friday. How do they compete? I wouldn't even say contend, Cody, because they're not going to contend with that Cavaliers team, and I doubt they contend with even Boston. But how do they compete? How do they try and be the Houston Rockets of the East?
Yeah, I don't see them being the Rockets in short order in any way whatsoever. They need to get 3-and-D guys in free agency. And look, like P.J. Tucker's the guy out there, J.J. Redick's the guy out there, some guys that can play defensive stuff, but are a little bit maybe more two-way players. Again, not stars, not game changers, but guys that could really fit alongside Butler if you have this Houston vision, guys that could knock down a few shots, take defensive responsibility off him on the other end so he doesn't have to guard a LeBron James and be expected to score 30 points a game. But, you know, there's some headlining free agents this year. There's to be headlining free agents in 2018 too, but a lot of these guys, it feels like with the new NBA, CBA and everything, they'll go back to their teams on big money deals, and it's like there's not a lot of great second-tier fits right now. It doesn't look like for a team like the Bulls, but it's difficult, and that's why, like, your time frame when Jimmy Butler's 27 and you got some young guys that aren't good yet, haven't proven much, who are more like 21, 22, 23. That's why the pendulum kind of swings toward rebuilding and trading him, and I think they realize that more than ever now, but I also have no idea how the next 3 or 4 days are going to play out here.
Cody, what would it take for a Jimmy Butler? If you're Boston, let's say, what would the Celtics need to give up? What would Chicago need to get rid of one of the best players in basketball?
I think the Bulls in a Celtics deal would definitely want the number 3 pick in Thursday night's draft. That would be the opportunity to draft Josh Jackson out of Kansas, Jason Tatum, if you like him more, out of Duke, De'Aaron Fox, the Kentucky point guard. A lot of people are really high on him. Bulls have had him for a workout, and they do like him too. So the opportunity to draft one of those guys, I think it would have to be the Nets or Lakers pick in 2018. And the Bulls would prefer that to be an unprotected pick. They don't like when Boston in these negotiations throw on top 1, 2, 3 protected there. Like, they want a little bit more certainty that they're going to have a pick and can project that they're going to have it in this year or this summer, whatever that would be, 18, 19, whatever the pick is that year. And then I think it would still take at least another piece, a third piece, preferably for the Bulls. And I don't know if that's a Jay Crowder type. If the Bulls send the Celtics Jimmy Butler, the Celtics could still conceivably make a run at Gordon Hayward in free agency if they dropped a little bit of salary. And Jimmy's a little redundant with Jay Crowder, so the Bulls could get someone like Jay Crowder and flip him for another draft pick if they wanted. I'm sure the Bulls would look into Jaylen Brown, the rookie who showed flashes last year and going into his second year has a lot of promise. Like, somebody like that. Avery Bradley's out there. I don't think he fits the timeline for the Bulls. Marcus Smart maybe a little bit more, but one of those guys, I think it would still be the Bulls wanting 3 assets, whether that third one's a pick or a player, I'm not sure, but there'd be salary filler in there too, most likely.
A team I find intriguing is the Phoenix Suns involved in this. They have a lot of young assets, high pick and number 4, and they could be involved in many ways. They could get Jimmy Butler themselves, or they could be part of a 3-way deal with Cleveland where they get Kevin Love, who could be a veteran on that young team. You can combine him with Devin Booker and some of that young talent. But what do you think Phoenix could give for Jimmy Butler that would be enticing for the Bulls?
Let's start with that number 4 pick. That, again, it's maybe not Josh Jackson, but could be Fox or Tatum. Obviously, maybe if Jackson flips or something, the Bulls could get him. But if they have Marcus Chris, he fits the bill for young and athletic, if like anyone does in these trade talks. That's a guy just brimming with potential, still kind of raw, but a great athlete, a guy who can run the floor and has to throw down some monster dunks. Like, that's how you get younger and more athletic. They got small forward TJ Warren. Like, that's not a guy who's ever going to be an all-star, I don't think. But he's a capable guy you plug in as a young player and can at least count on for years to come and kind of control the contract in that sense. Eric Bledsoe is interesting because, like, the Suns in any deal would be like, hey, we want to keep Devin Booker. No doubt about that. Bledsoe would be a logical piece to move, but he's 27 years old, so I don't know how much that fits the Bulls' timeline. But, again, a lot of options there, no doubt. And they also have a couple Miami Heat first-round picks coming up in the next few years, so they could throw an extra first-rounder in there. So the Suns are very intriguing in that sense. And the other thing you need to remember about them, their front office has made some really poor moves over the years. If you remember, the 3-point guard experiment failed miserably, and they sold Isaiah Thomas for, like, basically nothing, and he ends up as an all-NBA player for the Celtics. That's a front office that could feel some heat and pressure to win next year. And whether that means getting Jimmy Butler or getting Kevin Love in a 3-way deal with the Cavaliers somehow on the Suns end, like, I could conceivably see them out of desperation wanting to make a big play and add a star and be like, hey, look, we know Devin Booker can score 24 points a game every night in the NBA. Now, if we get another star and can get these young guys to build around and maybe sign one more veteran in free agency, we're a team that can grab the 7th seed in the West and save our jobs. So that's what's intriguing to me on the Suns end. It's like, that front office has been really bad at times and could be under a lot of heat and sense of desperation right now.
Cody Western, 670 The Score. I got one more team left for you to kind of throw out what could they build around, and that's the Minnesota Timberwolves and Tom Thibodeau, who I think wants to win now. Obviously, Andrew Wiggins, they ain't giving Karl Anthony Towns for anybody considering that. I don't think they give Wiggins because I think Wiggins straight up for Butler would be a heck of a deal for the Bulls, given how young Wiggins is, and he's got promise. Butler's better now, but he's only there for 2 more years. But is there a package that could be enough for Jimmy Butler that doesn't include Wiggins?
Yeah, I think they're out there. A complicating factor is that Zach LaVine had that torn ACL, I think, was it last January. So I don't know how certain the Bulls would be about including him in any trade proposals when he's not going to be healthy until like this January. And the Bulls, obviously there's the cloud of Derrick Rose's knee injury hanging over this franchise for years. So they might be uncertain in that regard. But look, the Wolves, I think they have the number 7 pick in the draft. They got LaVine. If they wanted to part with him, that's the guy the Bulls should be interested in. Like you said, I don't think they're going to part with Wiggins. I don't think Ricky Rubio interests the Bulls whatsoever at all. But remember that Chris Dunn was the number 5 overall pick last year, and that's who the Bulls were trying to get at number 3 if they were going to trade Jimmy Butler last year. And Dunn had a disappointing rookie year. Tibbs doesn't have a lot of patience. I could see the Bulls. If the Bulls are good at anything, it's absolutely falling in love with guys in the draft. Like, that's a big reason they have Cameron Payne and Jaren Grant on their team, because they were on their draft radar and loved their workouts, loved everything leading up to the 2015 draft. Then they have a chance to acquire them a couple of years later, even if they're disappointed. The Bulls have been all in on this stuff. So for the Bulls to go all in on Chris Dunn a year or two later, wouldn't shock me whatsoever at all, So I think that deal would largely revolve around the number 7 pick in LaVine or some sort of Chris Dunn being involved in there. So I personally don't think it's going to happen because of just the past history with Tibbs in the Chicago front office. I don't see that getting done. But that would be appealing to me if they put LaVine in there because he's such an explosive athlete. I think he'll recover from the knee injury. I know that's a guy that relies so much on athleticism, but he also shot a lot better from three-point range these past couple seasons late in the year. So there's a guy that has a chance to be a difference maker and be young and athletic, and also throw in a couple other assets that can make a difference in there. So, again, it's always interesting in the NBA, how much does this opposing team you're dealing with need to win now? And Tibbs is a guy that always wants to win everything right now.
Cody, you mentioned all in drafts. The draft coming up, of course, if the Bulls stay put at 16, who are they all in on, you think?
Oh, good question. Good question. That's a complete crapshoot. I don't know. If they go with a wing player, Donovan Mitchell, they like him out of Louisville, but he'll probably be gone. I don't know what they trade to move up 4 or 5 spots to try to get him. The last time they did that was Doug McDermott. Yeah. They failed miserably, obviously. Luke Kennard, the guy out of Duke, obviously, that's the guy that fits the Fred Hoiberg system because he shoots. But at the same time, Doug McDermott could shoot and didn't play good defense and couldn't get to the free throw line. And those are the question marks about Kennard, too. Can he get to the free throw line? Can he be a team defender and, not have your defense take a dip because he's out there? Stuff like that. If they go big men, there's a lot of young, good big men out there who are probably one-year guys. Like Jarrett Allen out of Texas is a guy they've worked out. Is a guy they've seen in person, too, a couple times at the NBA Combine. Justin Jackson, the wing player out of North Carolina, is another guy that they've been enamored with, that type of guy in the past. So there's a whole host of names to throw out there, and I'm honestly clueless right now. You would think they would take a wing player, but the Bulls are also at the point where they need to get some player brimming with the most talent who has the best chance to be a difference maker.
Right.
The way this is going, because even if they do run the same team back for an entire year, they need a difference maker down the line. And so if a guy sits on the bench basically redshirts for a year, that should be completely fine with the Bulls. They need to get out of this mindset. They have to add a Denzel Valentine type to help them this coming year, because the only difference it's going to make is between a 7 seed and a 9 seed and missing the playoffs right there at best. So I don't see the Bulls. I'd say I see the Bulls more likely to take a chance this year in the draft and go away from the old mold, just because of the way those guys that are projected in late lottery and mid-teens, a lot of them are young guys. Terrence Ferguson, who went to and played professionally in Australia for a year, is another guy they've worked out in interviews. So guys like that, I could see them picking, because that might be the best available value right there. But good question. Your guess is as good as mine.
Right.
Basically, anyone's guess is as good as anyone. Because it's going to be draft night, and we're going to be like, oh, it's 7:45. Are they trading Jimmy Butler? And then all of a sudden at 7:46, they're going to be on the clock taking some guy that we never even heard of until like a month ago.
Crazy.
So who knows what happened?
Yep, and Gar Forman and John Paxson will be at the podium that night talking about Jimmy Butler being the key to them contending in the East next year.
No
and
doubt.
With some guy at 16 that's going to be just okay. Cody Westro on 670 The Score. You can read him at 670thescore.com. He also does the Locked On Bulls podcast, a great listen. You can follow him as well at Cody Westro. And Cody, appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good rest of the show.
You too, buddy. Cody Westland, always good stuff, always good info. I wanted to ask you.
Can you tell that this is all fun?
No, I know. Right.
Until they've just dragged their feet. And for me, if Garpax are in survival mode,
yes,
I think dealing Jimmy Butler extends you. Right?
Oh, without a doubt.
I think you get more of a leash if you're going to start a rebuild right now. If you get, and it's all dependent on having a good offer.
Right.
You got to have a good offer.
You can't just give him away.
I'm not saying like Cody said, you might only get 80, 85 cents on the dollar, whatever it is. But if you get that might be the best move for you long term.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're in the start of a rebuild, and I don't think you're going to get fired to start that.
Tom Thibodeau in Minnesota. How did he and Butler coexist?
No, they were great. I mean, he ran Butler into the ground sometimes with his minutes, and that's another concern with Jimmy.
But that's kind of how Jimmy started to become a star in the Thibs, right?
Because if you go 2 more years of Jimmy playing 40-plus minutes, and then you have to decide, am I giving him a 5-year, $200 million deal?
Wow.
To a guy year 30 through 34. They got to decide now. You got to make that decision right now.
You do.
And for me, I'd rather just start this because I don't think
start it over
unless you know you're getting some other superstar that Jimmy Butler can help you get. But from the Sun-Times report, it sounds like Jimmy's now kind of pushing for a deal to Cleveland.
Okay.
So I just move on.
That'd be interesting.
If you get the right offer, this is the time to do it.
Nothing on the Porzingis thing today, by the way. not with the Bulls, obviously, but. There was rumor that he was up for it. Come on.
Yeah, Phil is now listening to offers, or teams are calling Phil about
Porzingis is a stud.
Kristaps Porzingis. If there's anything that makes me feel better about being a Bulls fan, it's that I'm not a Knicks fan.
You're not a Knicks fan. Amen to that.
What a terrible franchise.
How much is Phil Jackson ruining his legacy right now?
I mean, his coaching legacy is fine, but
it's just just go away.
I mean, the hire was terrible.
It was. It totally was.
Guy's never been in that kind of position. You gave him $15 million a year to do it?
Wow. And now you just sit there and you look at him and it's like, what is he doing? Yeah. Does he know what he's doing?
Looking forward to talking to 2 Illini football players coming in next, Nick Allegretti and Dre Brown. They'll talk about their great Lift for Life event that's happening Friday morning at Memorial Stadium. We'll talk to them about that. We'll ask them about the facilities renovation, what they think about that. I don't know if they'll get to enjoy much of it.
No, I doubt it.
But we'll talk to them about what that would mean for the program and what it would do for recruiting. But we'll also talk to Dre about coming back from injury and Nick Allegretti taking on a huge leadership role for this team.
If they've ever used the P-Wall.
There you go.
I mean, listen, I especially ask the hard-hitting questions on this show. 359-2255, Tay and J Show.
Hanson's Auto Repair in Urbana is a family-owned and operated full-service garage. For over 40 years, they've offered friendly atmosphere, quality work, and reasonable prices. Whether it's an oil change, brake service, or engine replacement, Hanson's Auto does it all. They're a locally owned dealer who cares, providing fast, comprehensive, and expert service. Family-owned, operated, and trusted since 1966, Hanson's Auto Repair, 1202 East Washington in Urbana. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Visit them online at hansonsautorepair.com.
Our Stevie J Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month is Mike Cervantes, a K-9 officer with his dog Hunter. How does one become a K-9 officer?
Well, I was fortunate enough when Sergeant Lushin had the dog, I was in the street crimes unit with him. So as Hunter started his drug career, per se, that's when I started also. For Hunter specifically, he's a narcotics detection and human detection dog. So if somebody, say a little kid walks away from a place, or an older person walks away from a nursing home, something like that, he's able to track them down. He's also able to do article recoveries. So if somebody's running from us and they toss a gun, somebody loses their keys, which we've helped do that before, he can go in an area and I can give him the command to search for that human odor, and he can find that. He's also able to detect odors of illegal narcotic.
Brought to you by F.E. Moran Security Solutions.
Express Employment Professionals need you. Express Employment has over 100 positions available to help bring in the Central Illinois harvest. If you are at least 18 years old and looking for full or part-time employment, apply online today at expresspros.com or call us at 355-8500.
The past several years have been tough, but out of hardship come innovation, enterprise, and confidence. Busey is committed to giving business startups an extra push. Our small business initiative supports entrepreneurs whose businesses will bring vibrancy to our communities. Micro business can have macro impact. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of our many convenient locations for solutions to your banking and wealth management needs. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Stephanie Pratt with Coldwell Banker, the real estate group, your realtor that rocks the real estate market. I so love to cook and smoke. Meats, that is. I want you to be a rock and cook too, so I'm going to hook one lucky winner up with a master-built smokehouse smoker. Just listen for Stevie J in the morning and Tay and J in the afternoon to tell you the text. When they do, text a keyword to 359-2255 and you'll be entered to win. And let me rock your summer parties in a new home. Go to StephaniePrattHomes.com to contact me today. And for information on the smoker giveaway, go to ESPNCU.com.
Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
It's our trip to Wrigley Field, Chicago. You can join us Wednesday, July 5th. The Cubs take on Tampa Bay at 1:20. You can see the world champion Chicago Cubs, and the rooftop tickets include all your food and beverage. Pay online at ESPNCU.com or stop by our studios Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, 2702 South Boulder in Urbana. Again, join us July 5th, Cubs rooftop trip, ESPNCU.com for details.
Eat, shop, play, and explore. Rediscover Campus Town. Every Thursday now through August 17th during 13 Thursdays. Summer's finally here and we're loving the specials in Campus Town. You can find great deals on clothing, accessories, and food each Thursday during 13 Thursdays at participating businesses. Save big this summer when you shop and eat your way through Campus Town. And enjoy 1 hour free parking at the campus parking deck located on 6th and Healy each and every Thursday. Visit ChampagneCenter.com. 13 Thursdays is presented by the Champagne Center Partnership.
The Urbana Park District presents Neighborhood Nights. Each Wednesday night, we'll be traveling to a different park in Urbana. You can enjoy all kinds of fantastic local musicians. This Wednesday night, June 21st, at Blair Park, Keith Harden joins us with his folk and Americana music from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Free popcorn and lemonade. And we want to thank our sponsors, Stevie J Broadcasting, Shambana Moms, First Federal, the Urbana Parks Foundation, and CUMTD. For details, you can visit our website at urbanaparks.org.
During warm weather, you need your AC to keep you cool. See your Champagne CarX man right now for an air conditioning performance check starting at $29.99. At CarX Tire and Auto, we can handle everything your car needs from maintenance to repair. And we'll get your air conditioning running perfectly just in time for summer. So don't sweat it. See your CarX man at any of our 3 Champagne locations for a $29.99 air conditioning performance check. All your car needs is CarX Tire and Auto.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Time is running out to register your child for youth football. Go to CIYFL.com to register now. This year's championship will be held at Memorial Stadium October 15th. Also, register now and your child will receive 1 ticket to Youth Football Day with the Fighting Illini. Registration ends June 30th, so hurry. Go to CIYFL.com. That's CIYFL.com.
It's a familiar place you know. It's a relationship to hold on to. It's a place for families, a part of growing up, and a key to staying healthy. There are warm, friendly faces, people you trust because you know you're in good hands, because you know there's complete passion, professionalism, and heart. If it's your first time or another visit, you get the care you deserve at Illini Smiles Dental Care. Dr. Shu, Dr. Fott, and Dr. Lou and their team are ready to see you now. Illini Smiles Dental Care, 303 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign. Book your visit online today at IlliniSmilesDentalCare.com. That's IlliniSmilesDentalCare.com. Illini Smiles Dental Care. We love to see you smile.
The official fan store of the Fighting Illini is moving. Game Day Spirit, currently located at 1422 South Neal Street, is moving to the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign this July. In the meantime, they're preparing for the lowest prices of the season to be available during their moving sale in June. Stay tuned for more information and follow them on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram by searching Game Day Spirit. Stay in the know of all things Game Day and all things Fighting Illini with Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini.
It's the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner had a good visit with Cody Westerland, 670thescore.com. Where in the heck is Jimmy Butler going, if anywhere? You know it's going to be boring on Thursday night when you just draft 16th and you take some dude you don't even know.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Hey, Jimmy Butler was what, like a 28th pick?
30th.
So maybe you could find that again. You never know. All right, it's time now to talk to a couple of guys that play football at the University of Illinois. We're welcoming in Nick Allegretti and Dre Brown. And we'll start with Nick. Let's start with Nick. You're kind of the veteran. You're moving in. How tough are you go.
Yeah, I was going to ask Nick because they got their Lift for Life event this Friday, and we'll get into this. But you are filling the shoes, Nick Allegretti, of All-American boy Joe Spencer, who is the president of like 18 things here at the University of Illinois. What's this been like to try and fill his shoes running this Lift for Life event?
Joe's done a lot of great things at the University of Illinois, so he definitely left his legacy there, and I'm happy to try at least take over for him. He's helped me out a bunch setting up this event.
Sure.
And, I saw him do it for 3 years, so I have a pretty good idea on how to do it and then have a ton of help from corporate, so I think it's going to go off well. I'm excited for it.
So you're president of Uplifting Athletes. Tell us a little bit about the event you have. We've been doing this for a while. It started off to really help raise funds for former Illini Andrew Carter and the disease he had, the rare disease. But what do you guys have going this year, and how can people participate?
Yeah, so the event is, again, it's 8 teams divided amongst Illinois football players. We are going to compete in what we call the Lift for Life event. It is events like bench press, pull-ups, sled pushes, tire flips.
Yeah.
Basically a strongman competition. It's a fun competition for us. Gives us kind of a different feel for a workout, but still getting to work out. And then our main goal is just to raise as much money as we can for rare diseases.
So how does that work with regards to the money? Somebody donates $50. How does that work?
So there's 2 ways actually this year you can donate. Last year was just flat donations.
Okay.
This year you're still allowed to do that, but what we changed is that if you would like to, you could donate X amount of money per rep.
Okay.
Per team. So say you want to donate to Team 1, I believe Chase Crouch is the captain of Team 1.
I don't want his team.
And so they've actually got some benchers on their team.
Okay,
so
then I'll take his team.
They're going to do well, but
who takes over for Bain? Bain was the
guy. Kenyon Jackson is doing a good job. He's I think he's only 19 years old, and he'll be close if not passing him.
Wow.
So what you could do is you can donate, say, 50 cents, $1 per rep.
Got it.
And then each team is on average going to hit about 190 reps. We averaged. Kenyon's team may hit a little more.
Okay.
They got some big benchers there.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. I love how, look, they moved Spencer out of the way and they're already making changes. It's exactly right. No. Well, listen, that's going to be cool. Now, when is this again, and how do people donate? And we'll say this again before we're done on the air today, but how can people donate? I assume via the web they can do it that way.
Yeah, so the event is this Friday at 8 a.m. We'll be competing. And I'll send you guys the link. There's a link you can go to, and you could choose the team that you want to donate to, where it's a competition amongst each team to raise the most money as well. So you go on to whatever team. Say you're a DB fan, you want to go to Team Dunlap, donate to Team Dunlap, and then you could either do the flat donation or the per rep donation.
Got it. All right.
Dre Brown, what's this event been like? I know you've had some injuries in the past, but I don't know how much you've been able to participate. What is this like for the team to participate in this?
Yeah, this event is a lot of fun. We dress up. Guys wear camo or Power Ranger outfits.
Or if you're Bane, a samurai.
Yeah, we've seen some crazy costumes. But yeah, it's just really exciting. It's kind of, you get away from just the normal everyday lift, squat, bench. But you get to just do a lot of different stuff like pushing prowlers. And we just have a really just a lot of fun events, and it's a really good time.
Well, Dre, I wanted to ask you, obviously, there's a lot of people returning from injuries, and people talk a lot about Chase. People talk a lot about Mikey Dudek.
No doubt.
But you've been there, too. The last 2 years, what has this been like to go through and to not yet play a game at Illinois when you're one of the guys who wanted to come here, play for your state school, and you haven't been able to do it yet?
Yeah, it's been really tough. Just coming in, I didn't, thinking as a high school senior that everything would happen, that I'd tear my ACL twice and I'd be in this predicament. But again, I'm thankful for it because I've learned so much about life and just about myself in general. When something, football is just, it's a magnitude, it's an idol in our life. When it's taken away, you got to really reevaluate what your values are. And I started, just kind of serving other people, and I found a joy in that, and which really got me through these 2 injuries. And now you fast forward through those 8 to 12 months, 2 rehabs, and now I'm back where I need to be. I'm kind of second, third string, just ready to compete in the fall. So
you're wearing your FCA shirt. I know you're big into faith. How has that aided you through that process, or have you kind of put more of yourself into that throughout this? Or
yeah, that's been honestly my everything. I mean, 2 ACLs is just can't even explain just the devastation and the tears that
a different one each time. Right?
Yeah, left and right.
Wow.
When the right one happened, I was kind of, I was frustrated, but I was like, okay, a lot of people are red shirt. But when the second one happened, I was like, all right, I need, something of a higher, because, football and a lot of things in life will fail you, but, having that faith and being strong, that will always prevail.
It's like going to the dentist, once you go once and do like a root canal and you got to do another one, you're like, oh, I know exactly what to expect. How hard do we understand as the average person how hard it is to not only go through rehab once, but once you've done it now and you're done with it, and then you realize you've got to do it again? How mentally hard is that to prepare for?
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, especially so when you tear your ACL, you can't get rehab right away. So that's what they call it. I think it's called prehab. So you got to wait about 4 weeks, and you can still kind of do everything. It just feels like you don't have anything in your knee.
Unreal.
So you kind of prepare for it then, but then when they go in and clean it up and get that repaired, you got tubes stuck in your knee, you got stitches, and it's just your whole leg is actually shaved. It's kind of funny. I had a leg with one hair and leg shaved all over. Even that's just kind of like a little frustrating. Like, seriously, you could.
You're right.
But
even this out a little bit.
Yeah. And it's
That's
just,
right.
yeah, you can't walk. You're sitting in a bed for about 2 weeks.
Oh.
But, I mean, the best thing is it gets better.
Yes.
Each week you never feel the same. I mean, there's some setbacks, but I mean, you learn how to walk, you learn how to jog. So, I mean, just imagine like something being taken away from you, and you got to
earn the right to do it again.
Earn it to do it again and do it better than before, because it's so competitive.
How much do you talk to guys like Mikey Dudek through the process? I don't mean just him, but another person that is going through something similar. Oh, yeah. How much? I mean, I would assume that's huge. You guys can kind of check on each other, right?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine if I just had to do that by myself. Ugh. That's why it was so nice having Mikey, and then even Pat Nelson. He tore his ACL his freshman year, so just kind of him, and then Justin Hardy, he broke his foot that 2015 season. So it's kind of all of us. We kind of just held each other up and made sure, like, hey, cool. Me and Mikey would always say no bad days, no matter what, just no bad days.
That's cool.
He's Dre Brown, Illini running back. What's it going to be like, because you're held out a little bit in the spring? I know you're full go basically in workouts right now, right? Mm-hmm. What's it going to be like to get to that first practice? And then what's your mindset going into your first game?
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Just today we had our, little photo shoot team, our pictures, and I finally, after 3 years of me being here, I finally got to put on pads and a jersey. Which, some people may take for granted, but I was so excited. It was just brought me back to like the Little League days when you finally get your jersey. I was like, man, this is fun,
That's cool.
And so, yeah, I guess my mindset is really just, taking it one day at a time, not trying to look at the first game, just kind of focus on, hey, I need to get the best I can do today, and then just, keep stacking those good days.
What do you see as your role? I mean, because obviously Reggie and Kendrick stepped up last year, and you got 2 freshmen coming in. What do you see as your role for this team?
Yeah, my role, obviously it's going to expand depending on how I do in fall camp, but it's really just whatever the team needs. I think my style is a little different from Kendrick and Reggie. Kendrick's kind of the speedster, Reggie's kind of the elusive guy, and I think I have a nice combination of both, me being one of the tallest running back in the room. So I think I can, power and catch out the backfield and be interesting to see, how fall camp goes and how my body holds up for sure.
Are you the only guy over 6 foot in that room?
Yeah, it's a pretty short room. I mean, they play like they're bigger.
Right.
Reggie and Kendrick, they play like they're 6'2", but yeah, I am the tallest. In the room.
They can win this 6 and under rec league in basketball. What was it like to sit on a sideline then? And I don't mean in a bad way, in a good way. What could you learn watching the last couple of years? Maybe your freshman year, you're not sure if you're going to play a lot. Of course, the injury, obviously, but watching these 2 years and watching everything develop on the field, what can you learn to take in? I'm sure you probably know stuff you don't even realize you picked up.
Yeah, I remember watching just after every game, win or lose, I'd always watch the film no matter what, just to, just because, one, I love the game of football. And
that's cool.
Just picking up on, hey, certain situations, because I'm a student of the game. So, yeah, just kind of watching each game and then talking to Kendrick, be like, hey, how does, this work? And when we're playing, at Michigan or something, like how's the crowd and whatnot. So really just trying to learn as much as I can before I'm actually in it. So
that's cool.
Did you ever think, do I want to continue playing football after those 2 injuries?
Yeah, I've always knew I was going to keep playing, but there's always thoughts. It's like, man, the amount of work. It's almost like a big giant just looking up and like to get back to not only just playing but practicing and just. There's so many things that I don't take for granted anymore, and that's kind of nice. It's been helping me in all areas of life.
I want to bring in Nick Allegretti. Nick, what's it been like to watch him and Mikey go through this process of just getting on the field and, as Dre said, getting on the uniform for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, something I have not been through, but it's been tough to watch. I mean, seen Dre do it twice. Mikey, who I also live with, seen him do it twice. It looks brutal. It's hard. It's something that looks it's hard physically, but it's almost harder mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You just see that a lot of days we're going out, we're working out, we're practicing, and although we're grinding through practice and doing all the hard stuff, doing all the dirty work, they would love to be out there.
Sure,
doing every hard drill you can over and over. They'd love to be out there. So it's been tough to watch, but especially a kid like Dre. I've been trying to put as much extra work as I can, and there's a lot of kids on our team that'll do that. But if you ask any of those kids that are putting extra work in, like who do you see in there the most? It's hands down Dre. See him there every day.
So Nick, you take on a much bigger role on this team with Joe gone, Austin Schmidt's gone, and you have a young group on the offensive line, and you also have a thin group now, given what happened in the offseason. So, how does your task change? How does your role change?
It's definitely a little harder, but I'm having a lot of fun. We have a very young offensive line. I think over half of us are either freshmen or redshirt freshmen.
Wow.
Gabe and Adam Solomon are redshirt sophomores, and they're upperclassmen
right.
on their O-line. So it's definitely been hard, but it's been a blast. Basically what it is now, I think we have 13 O-linemen, so we need everyone. There's no I'm 18 years old, I can wait and can't. Larry Boyd, Vidarian Lowe, Alex Paucho, we need everyone right now, so it's been fun. We have a lot of work to put in, but it's fun to kind of slip into that mentor role that Joe Spencer was for me, that Teddy Karras was for me, that Michael Heights and Al Hill back in the day. That's who they were for me, and it's fun to be in that role now.
Yeah, you got to be kind of the leader now.
Yeah,
Nick Allegretti. But that's fun, right? What do you see this line? What is going to be kind of the goal for this line this year?
We have to be just as physical as possible. We're not going to be a very experienced group. Christian DeLoros played a ton of football.
Sure.
But besides that, we're a young, inexperienced group. So at the end of the day, if our technique's off because we've got some young freshmen playing, or maybe we make some mental errors, it's got to be physical. Everything's got to be physical, mistake or not.
How much will it change working? Wes was a drop back guy. Now you got Chase, more of a running quarterback. How much does that change your role even now or going into a season?
It's definitely different. It's to the point where as an O-lineman now with a running quarterback, you can't stop blocking.
Okay.
Because with Wes, you took your pass set, you knew where Wes was.
Right.
When it comes to Chase, you don't have a clue. Chase can be we can be a simple drop back, and Chase can be out of the pocket in a second. If the pocket collapses, he's gone. He's going to go make some yards for us. Total confidence in him there. But I mean, yeah, it's something you can never stop blocking.
Is that kind of fun for you guys though? Because like once he gets out, then you can go hit somebody. Right?
It is. I come from in high school. I played for 3 different quarterbacks and 1 pocket passer, 1 big runner. And playing for running quarterbacks is a lot of fun.
I love it.
A lot of fun.
Wes was smart, intelligent, and I thought he led by example kind of way. Chase is different, right? I mean, what's that huddle like? What's that room like? How is it different now?
Chase is. I mean, I would say the number one thing I think about him is he's passionate. He loves football. He loves being out there. And as an offensive lineman, I mean, that's who we are. We don't deal with a lot of. We're not in the limelight all the time. We're not the super exciting players. So when we see
Spencer got a 14-yard carry.
Hey, he did.
Good call. Good call.
But I mean, it's very fun to have a quarterback who's out there having a blast, and you know that like every time. If you make a mistake, he's gonna do whatever he can to make it up for you.
Yeah, and you guys also have some young guys, and usually the offensive line you kind of got to build them up strength wise. Vidarian Lowe is what 6'6", 350. Boyd 6'5", 340.
They are both some big boys.
What advice do you give them? I mean, because they got to trim up a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, they definitely both need to trim up a little bit. I'm also myself. I'm a larger player, but they both definitely need to lose a little bit of weight, but if they're coming off the ball and they're physical, I mean, I've seen Larry work out a couple of times, and he's the biggest kid out there, so he's a little slower, but I've never seen an ounce of quit in him.
Yeah.
We run the hills or we're working out. There's no consideration of quitting, no consideration of stopping, so that we can work with.
Nick Allegretti, last one I have for you is Harry Black. Is an offensive lineman from the University of Illinois. Walk on. You play with him for a couple years. Can I get the scouting report of Harry Black as a football player? I mean, now I know he was a skinnier guy as a lineman, but now he's look at this kid. Looks like a center or something in basketball.
I was going to say like a guard.
When people ask me about Harry Black, the only thing that comes to my head is that he is the most interesting person I have ever met. When I first met Harry, I was certain that he hated me. And I was pretty certain about that for about 2 years. And then he warmed up to me a little bit.
Okay.
And then I did learn that he knows more about sports than anyone that I've ever talked to.
Biggest hockey guy I've ever
It's crazy.
And like sometimes I think he thinks that I know more about sports than I do. Because we would have conversations, and I'd be way out of my league. But I would just throw everything I heard on the radio. I'd be throwing at him.
What do you think of this?
Yeah, so he loved playing with Harry. Sad to see him gone, but good to see him here today.
That is awesome. I've got one more for you,
legend
Nick.
of Harry Black.
No doubt, it lives on, and he's got to see. He signed his uni up here and there. I mean, we'll take anyone you want to give. Mikey Dudek, getting him back. What will that mean? As a fan, I get excited about seeing Mikey out there running routes again and catching passes. What will it mean for the team to get a guy like him back?
It'll mean everything. He's a player. He goes out. He makes plays. He's an incredible athlete. Also, though, a great person.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah.
He does everything right off the field, so everyone just wants to see him have success. Everyone saw him have success as a freshman. Been 2 years out now, right. But I mean, when he was having success as a freshman, he was an 18, 19-year-old kid, and now he's 21, 22 years old.
Crazy.
He's, squatting with our O-lineman. He's a strong kid, so I'm excited to watch him play. He's an exciting player. Definitely brings up the morale on the team.
That's cool.
All right, you guys got Lift for Life, Nick Allegretti and Dre Brown. Information again, Friday, 8 a.m. at Memorial Stadium, and how can people participate?
I will, again, send you guys the link, but if you go to upliftingathletes.org/Illinois, I believe, if you just go to upliftingathletes.org, you'll be able to find it. And then you go on the site, pick whatever team you would like to donate to, and then you could do the pledge it per rep or a flat donation, whatever. Awesome. We appreciate everything.
Nick Allegretti, big White Sox fan.
That's right.
Are you liking what they're doing right now, the kind of the tear down, the build up?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a long process.
Okay.
But I think that within probably 3 years, we're going to start to see a good team. I'm excited.
Yeah, I bet.
I think we have some great prospects in our farm leagues. So I'm excited. Me and my brother are both huge White Sox fans. My entire family are Cubs fans.
That's cool.
So we would, congratulations to the Cubs, but we would love to get the Sox
Amen.
back on.
And then Dre Brown's a Cardinals
Even
fan.
better.
How do you fix this, Dre?
Yeah, Dre, come on. We've been talking about this for 2 months. How do we make the Cardinals great again, man?
Yeah, honestly, I've been watching more too, trying to get into it, but it's just like, man, you know.
Oh, they're bad.
Yeah, I have them on my little Sports Illustrated app, and it seems like every time I pick up my phone, Cardinals 7, Orioles 15 or whatever.
Right.
Like, are you serious?
Oh, it's frustrating as heck.
Yeah,
it is frustrating. Well, guys, good luck this season. Always appreciate you guys coming in. Nick Allegretti and Dre Brown, Illini football players, joining us here in studio for Lift for Life. That'll be this Friday. And again, we'll get that link out to everybody, and please donate. I mean, it's a great cause, and you guys work your tails off for this cause, so we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. We appreciate it.
All right, stuff. Back to wrap up hour 2, I guess, the last hour. It is the Tay and J Show.
This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Are you sure you're on track to reach your retirement goals? Wondering how much money you'll need to last your lifetime? Whether you're retiring in a few weeks or a few years, we can analyze your needs and create a plan that's right for you. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com. Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network.
Provident, partnerships built on trust.
FINRA SIPC, the registered investment advisor.
When the tent goes up, the prices go down. Shields Auto Group's Great Tent Event happening this week across from the Super Walmart in Rantoul. Look for the big tent and save. 2 dealerships, 9 manufacturers. Used vehicles with payments as low as $149 a month. New vehicles priced at actual invoice. Discounts up to 25% off MSRP. Great Tent Event happening this week. Shields Auto Center and Shields Auto Mart have combined their inventory for this gigantic event. Over 300 vehicles. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac. 0 down payment, 0% financing, up to 72 months. Cash rebates, on the spot financing. Top dollar for your trade. And almost every vehicle we sell comes with a full powertrain warranty. So you never, ever have to worry. Shields Auto Center and Shields Auto Mart. Great tent event happening this week across from the Super Walmart in Rantoul. Look for the big tent and save. On approved credit payments based on 5.99% interest for 48 months. Tax title license of 1,000 down. Stock number 40532.
Going on 5 years, Rock's Place in St. Joseph has become the neighborhood sports bar and grill for a lot of folks in the area. Rock's Place is known for their delicious burgers, and they also have great daily food and drink specials. Plus, Rock's has plenty of TVs, so you can keep tabs on the Cubs and Cardinals all summer long. And while you're there, press your luck on one of Melody Music's video gaming machines. For delicious food, cold drinks, and good company, make it Rock's Place, 101 North Main Street in St. Joseph. Find them on Facebook, ROCHS in St. Joseph.
Tolono Fun Day has a great parade that steps off at 11 a.m. on June 24th, going from East Side to West Side Park. Brought to you by Brian's Buildings in Tolono. Saturday, June 24th features 3 local bands with music between 4 and 10. The Boom Boom Boys with their fireworks show spectacular. Don't forget the Tolono Twilight Track Friday after 6 on June 23rd, thanks to Busey Bank in Tolono. And then see the free movie Moana. Support Tolono Fun Day by getting your golf cart raffle ticket before they run out from Battery Specialist Plus Golf Cars. Details on Facebook, just search Tolono Fun Day.
Hey, what are we doing for your birthday party this summer? Well, I was hoping to have a cookout like last summer. What? Don't you remember all those mosquito bites we got last year?
Good news, girls. Not only is Prairie View taking care of everyone's dandelions, now I'm going to take care of all their mosquitoes, too.
Yay!
Enjoy a bug-free summer. For all your mosquito control needs, call Lindy at Prairie View Landscaping and Turf Management at 355-9422. That's 355-9422 for mosquito control from Prairie View Landscaping.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days, mortgage loans and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. For a limited time, Lands is offering special financing for 6 years or up to $1,000 trade-in allowance. Your choice, with approved credit on any qualifying trade system. So call Lands at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR for details or find us online at landsinc.com. And remember, it's hard to stop a train. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
See Lands or visit train.com for complete program eligibility dates, details, and restrictions.
Eat, shop, play, and explore. Rediscover Campus Town every Thursday now through August 17th during 13 Thursdays. Summer's finally here and we're loving the specials in Campus Town. You can find great deals on clothing, accessories, and food each Thursday during 13 Thursdays at participating businesses. Save big this summer when you shop and eat your way through Campus Town. And enjoy 1 hour free parking at the campus parking deck located on 6th and Healy each and every Thursday.
Champagne life.
Visit ChampagneCenter.com. 13 Thursdays is presented by the Champagne Center Partnership.
Sure, we've been called a mom and pop store. We take it as a compliment. After all, we are family owned and operated with 2 generations actively involved, and 5 of our team members have been with us for around 20 years each or longer. We run our business with old-fashioned customer service as our foundation, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Add our great selection of hand-picked mattresses, all proudly made in the USA at guaranteed lowest prices, and we're sure you won't find a better deal anywhere. Visit us and experience the Illini mattress difference today.
Now listen to this crowd. Wow, they're on their feet.
This 4th of July, the Cardinals have you covered head to toe in true patriotic fashion. On Sunday, July 2nd, fans can take home an adult patriotic cowboy hat, courtesy of Brown & Crouppen Law Firm. Monday, July 3rd, enjoy Cooper Tire's post-game fireworks. And Tuesday, July 4th, adults and kids can add patriotic Cardinals socks to their wardrobe, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Powerade. That's July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
Beacon Insurance and your local independent agent are committed to providing the best coverage options and the best service possible. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at beaconinsurance.com and on social media. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/Beacon Insurance. It's a great way to learn more about insurance for your auto, home, life, or business. You'll stay up to date with important announcements. Plus, they'll throw in a few fun facts along the way. For beyond the expected information, follow Beacon Insurance on Facebook today.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Carpenter's Local 243 in Champaign, Illinois wants to thank the contractors, developers, and business owners who utilize the skills and services of union carpenters on their projects. Carpenter's Local 243 members are part of the world's highest skilled, most productive workforce. Members and contractors are committed to apprenticeship training and an ongoing journeyman skill advancement program. This provides the labor resources to ensure projects are completed. For a list of responsible contractors, call Carpenter's Local 243 at 356-5463.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
A bomb scare in Brussels. I'm Brett Larson, Fox News. At a train station near a main square, a situation unfolding late today.
One man, as we understand it from the authorities, has been, as they describe it, neutralized. There is a report that he was wearing some sort of an explosive belt.
Sky News correspondent Mark Stone. Belgium has been on high alert since several suicide bombers killed 32 people on the Brussels subway and at the international airport. Today, it was reports of explosion-like noises at a main train station.
One of the central transit hubs for all of Europe, not just Belgium. And for that reason, it's heavily policed, heavily secured. It has what amounts to a physical security ring around the train station, not only people who are armed, but also barriers.
Fox's Catherine Harridge in Washington. No one appears to have been hurt in today's events. All eyes on Georgia's 6th congressional district tonight. Polls close just about an hour from now. In a race both Democrats and Republicans are hoping to win, and the history books have already been broken. Fox's Eben Brown joins us live with the very latest.
Brett, we're in Sandy Springs outside Atlanta at John Ossoff's campaign headquarters. He's the Democratic candidate. He's been in a very close race with Republican Karen Handel. The two of them are trying to hold this race while spending tens of millions of dollars in advertising, some which has made the airwaves almost completely filled with campaign ads to the chagrin of many of the people who live here. The race, however, could be a deciding factor in what happens in next year's midterms. The Republicans want to say they've maintained the people's trust, where the Democrats say they can erode the armor of President Trump. Brett?
Evan Brown, thank you. Polls close at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. July 20th, O.J. Simpson has a parole hearing. If he gets paroled, he could be released on October. Fox News, fair and balanced.
If you run your own business, when you're not on the job, you're on the road. In your van. Signs that say detour and do not enter are just plain bad for business. Well, here's a sign that's great for business. It says 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance on Mercedes-Benz Sprinter or Metris vans. Powerful, capable, and affordable. That's Mercedes-Benz Van Power. With pioneering safety technologies and low total cost of ownership, Mercedes-Benz vans are the right choice for your business. Check out the full lineup of Mercedes-Benz vans starting at just $25,995. 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance. That's van power for all. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Starting ad price refers to base model Metris worker cargo van. Excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Please see your dealer or go to mvvans.com for further details and exclusions.
Questions than answers today after the passing of Otto Warmbier. The University of Virginia student had been detained in North Korea for almost 2 years. He was returned to his family last week, but with serious brain injuries. He passed away yesterday afternoon. The former U.S. ambassador to the United States and New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson told Fox News he was irate with the treatment of the young student.
We need to get North Korea to disclose why was this man, Otto Warmbier, a young boy, actually, in a coma for a year. It was not botulism. It was not a sleeping pill. He might have been tortured. He might have been abused.
There are at least 2 other Americans still being detained in North Korea. Republicans in the Senate are still working on a health care bill to repeal and replace Obamacare, but there's not much known about the new bill.
Most Republicans haven't seen the bill yet, and Democrats are also complaining about the secretive nature of the process. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer says Republicans are focused on scoring a legislative victory.
The American people can't afford to front the bill for this failed law any single day longer. It's time to repeal and replace Obamacare, as Republicans have promised for a while.
Republican leaders want a vote on a new health care bill as soon as next week. Carol Zimmer, Fox News.
Police in West Virginia caught up with a suspected burglar who decided to take a snooze. The man was found sleeping in a stranger's home. That homeowner called cops after finding a glass door broken at the residence, and 39-year-old Stacy Foster sound asleep in a bed. Foster's now charged with burglary and destruction of property. United Airlines saying they'll upgrade their current Boeing 737 order to the aircraft maker's newest Boeing 737 MAX 10. Unveiled this week at the Paris Air Show, the order for 100 aircraft will make United the biggest customer for the new jets. In New York, I'm Brett Larson, Fox News Radio.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner off early tonight. Leak and Hellickson, that is must-see television. Cardinals.
Soft tossers right there.
Phillies tonight. Hey, I told you there was big news today in the golf world that we don't talk a lot of golf, but Phil Mickelson parting ways with Bones. And I don't know his name.
Is that his real name?
No, it's
is the legal name Bones?
You know what? By now it should be
Bones McCracken.
25
That'd be
years.
a great name.
That would be Bones McCracken.
If you are a boxer, Bones McCracken
it would be
phenomenal.
Bones Warner.
No.
All right.
That could be a bad name for a kid.
That's true. I don't think that's going to fly with Tiff either. But 25 years they spent together. And I read something today that he said all he wanted to do, his dream was to caddy in a Ryder Cup. And now, Phil's played in like 11 of those.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just an amazing thing. And to stay together 25 years as a caddy and a golfer, that's pretty impressive.
Be pretty good for a marriage.
Yeah,
right?
it would be.
I mean,
Exactly.
That's pretty good for any kind of relationship,
That's exactly
friends,
right.
whatever it is. So,
Right.
yeah, that's a pretty good long
stuff.
relationship there. Anthony Rizzo, was that slide dirty?
Yes, it was dirty. Yes. Because the lane was open,
Yes,
right?
he left the lane open. Hedges did.
I don't think that Rizzo is a dirty player by any means.
No.
And I wouldn't even say that the slide itself is dirty, because I think Rizzo, if he wanted to be dirty, could have really taken him out.
But by the rule.
But it was not a legal slide.
Yes.
Because there were plenty, and I even dare to say that he could have maybe been safe if he would have just slid.
I thought the Padres managers, Andy Green, did a good job. He didn't call Rizzo dirty. He just said the play was illegal.
Yep.
And I think Joe Maddon's kind of said the right things today. I hope this doesn't spill over into tonight.
No, I
and
don't
become
either.
one of those stupid baseball things.
I don't either, and I think both teams, I think we've talked about it, and believe it or not, if this makes sense to you, they've talked about it enough to where I think that they'll be fine with it.
Yeah, and it sounds like to them it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think they've moved on. I know the catcher had to come out. He had a bruised right thigh.
It's kind of a scary play for Rizzo.
Well, right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't if I were the Cubs that are Cubs fan, I'd be like, what are you doing, Rizzo? Just slide. We don't want you busting in and breaking something. So Rizzo's a big dude.
Cardinals take
He's
on
a
the
big
Phillies tonight. White Sox face the Twins. Nobody cares about that one.
No.
I do want to bring this up. There is plenty of talk about Aaron Judge, and that is warranted.
Yes.
But because he's on my fantasy team, I've been following Cody Bellinger for so long, since April 25th, since he got called up for the LA Dodgers.
Kid is unreal.
He has 21 homers in 51 games. That's the most in any span.
That's unreal.
Aaron Judge has 17. So Bellinger and Judge both are very high MVP candidates at this point. But it's just another young talent that baseball has in one of those huge cities.
Right.
I'm telling you, baseball is healthy with talent.
Yes, it is.
It is amazing the position players that have come up the last couple of years.
Who am I missing? Wasn't there just someone that was an MVP that was Rookie of the Year as well?
I mean, Chris Bryant.
Oh, Chris Bryant. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just one of those
Trey
where
Turner had 4 steals the other night. It's
crazy.
And he's probably going to hit 15 to 20 home runs with it.
I mean, you've got a lot of talent right now, and if you don't know much about Cody Bellinger, you need to find out, because that kid is unreal. And of course,
lefty swing is beautiful.
And Aaron Judge, of course, you've heard a lot about, and number one being for the Yankees, that always helps, but he's gotten a lot of the national press. I'm not sure Bellinger has gotten the same stuff. So, yeah, it'd be interesting.
He's starting to, after hitting 2. He's had 8 home runs in the last 11 games.
Unbelievable. How cool would it be to have Rookie of the Year and MVP in both leagues?
I mean, some of the young talents having unbelievable seasons. Miguel Sano, Chris Bryant's having a great season again. Carlos Correa. Charlie Blackmon doesn't get enough attention in Colorado. Corey Seager with the Dodgers. Nolan Arenado with the Rockies. He's done it for a while now. But of course, Aaron Judge and Paul Goldschmidt in Arizona.
Oh, just continues
overlooked
to hit bombs.
Superstar, but he's having an MVP season.
How about
too.
Arenado completing the cycle on a walk-off home run? I'm trying to think if there's a better way to end a baseball game than to not only get a cycle, but walk it off. That would be awesome.
Thanks to our guests today, Cody Westerlund, 670thescore.com, Nick Algretti and Dre Brown. Great stuff.
Good stuff.
With both of those kids. Very good representatives of the University of Illinois. Also, thanks to our interns, Harry
500.
Black, Jacob Diaz, Maddie Bunton, and Austin Berkland.
That's it. They're all in there. We will talk to everybody tomorrow. It is the Tay and J Show.
Cardinals baseball, Chris Raby with you on the Amarin pregame show. We're live inside Cardinals Nation Restaurant at Ballpark Village, and we get ready for the first of 3 between the Cardinals and the Phillies. Cardinals looking to snap a skid as they have lost 5 of 6. They're 31-37, and tonight Mike Leake on the mound against Jeremy Hellickson. Cardinals 5 games back in the division, and they were 6 games under 500 a couple of weeks ago when changes were made at Busch Stadium, and they swept the Phillies at Busch. Well, after the Cardinals won 4 games in a row, they've lost the 5 of 6 and look to get back on track against Philly tonight. One of the big reasons they've been having offensive success lately is the 1-2 punch at the top of the order. Dexter Fowler has homered in 4 straight games. It's our Central Bank of St. Louis replay.
The Cardinals are down a run as Dexter Fowler swings and hits it high and deep, right center field. Back to the track, the wall, tie game. A home run for Fowler, leading off the third. 3-3 Cardinals Brewers.
I like the rhythm that I see our offense getting into right now, and certainly Carp and Dex, being the 1-2 punch in the way they're swinging the bat, that sets a nice tone.
Here's a swing and a long drive. Right center field. It's a goner for Fowler. Back to back, Carpenter and Fowler. The pitch. A swing and a high fly ball. Left center field. Hit back to the wall and a goner. A 3-run homer for Fowler.
Good run here for Dexter and seeing some positive things.
Here's a drive hit deep to right center field. Back to the wall and gone. A home run for Fowler, his first as a right-handed batter this year. And he has homered in 4 straight games.
First Cardinals since Albert Pujols to do that, and the 13 home runs on the year for Fowler match his total from all of last year in 125 games. His 17 back in 2015 with the Cubs, a career high. But this is the third time in Fowler's career that he has hit a baker's dozen long balls. Our replay brought to you by Central Bank of St. Louis, your hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. Club's going to keep rolling with Carpenter and Fowler at the top of the order. All right, when we come back, Cardinals signing some more draft picks. We'll tell you about that in the Monsanto Farm Report. We're going to visit with Jen Langosh, hear from Mike Matheny, get the first word for the booth, and check in with Mike Claiborne. All of that as we get ready for baseball. The Cardinals and the Phillies coming your way just after 6 o'clock right here on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
There's a time for work, there's a time for play. There's a time to do things you don't do every day. There's a place to go, both tools and machines, and people with knowledge about these things. We've been here since 53 to meet your rental needs. When the time comes, we're the place for everything. Rental City.
Hi, I'm Mike Carpenter from the Tay and J Show on ESPN 93.5, and for over 20 years, Simplified Computers has been helping local businesses and nonprofits with their computing and networking needs. Simplified Computers covers everything from servers, network security, cloud-based applications, wireless accessibility, computer support. In short, whatever technical issues your business runs into, the guys at Simplified Computers have seen it, and they can help. Call them at 352-5000. That's 352-5000. Simplified Computers. Simply the best.
When your car breaks down, you realize just how much you need it. And when it breaks down, Beaumont Alignment Plus steps up. For routine maintenance like brakes, oil changes, tune-ups, batteries, and tires, you can count on Beaumont Alignment Plus. Bigger issues including alignment, suspension work, starters, alternators, transmission requires specialists. So get to know Beaumont Alignment Plus for your vehicle repairs. With locations on Bloomington Road and Dennison Drive in Champaign, you're never far from the help you need. It's good to know the quality service is still affordable at Beaumont Alignment Plus.
Cardinals announced today they've signed 7 more players that they drafted in the 2017 Major League Baseball first-round player draft. Also signed a non-drafted free agent catcher out of Miami. The club yesterday announced they had agreed to terms on minor league contracts with 13 picks. Today, 5 pitchers, 2 catchers, and an infielder among those that have signed. 5th-round selection, Zach Kirtley becomes the highest 2017 draft pick by the Cardinals. Kirtley, a second baseman out of St. Mary's, California. Cardinals have signed picks from rounds 5, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 17, 19, 20, 22, and 23, to name just a few. They've also signed picks 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 32, 36, and 39, plus Joe Gomez, an undrafted free agent catcher out of the University of Miami. The Cardinals have signed 20 total draft picks and an additional undrafted catcher. Also, a big congratulations to Matt Gifford from the Springfield Cardinals, who's been promoted to the Cardinals Vice President of Stadium Operations. Matt has done a great job in Springfield, and I know he'll do a fantastic job here in St. Louis. That's the Farm Report. It's brought to you by Monsanto, proud supporter of America's farmers. Fellow Cardinals baseball live at the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your number one app for live baseball. Well, this recent Cardinals skid, 5 games that they've lost in their last 6, it's been the pitching that's been an issue. We'll chat it with Jennifer Langosh in our Reporter's Notebook segment as we get ready for the Cardinals and the Phillies. Chris Raby with you back in a moment on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
You're at the ballpark every day, crouching down, catching heat, all but invisible. Your job lacks fame and glory, but offers plenty of distracting aches and pains. That's the life of a bullpen catcher. You can't afford to lose focus. Neither can your team. So be prepared with ACE braces, supports, and elastic bandages. And don't be distracted by pain. ACE brand, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals.
The Home Depot has discovered an amazing anti-aging formula for your walls. Bare Premium Plus Ultra Paint, interior and exterior, starting at just $29.98 a gallon. Bear's formula provides superior stain-blocking coverage, keeping walls looking newer longer. It's not the fountain of youth, unless you're a wall. Bear Premium Plus Ultra, starting at just $29.98 a gallon, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only.
Tuesdays can't get any respect. Every week it's like, I can't believe it's only Tuesday. No one ever asks, how was your Tuesday? But now there is something exciting about Tuesday. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Get an extra $10 off our lowest sale price on an AC Precision tune-up. That means you'll get a $120 tune-up for only $59 when you book online today at chiefbauer.com. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Take that, Saturday. Springtime is here, and that means it's time to hit the water, and there's no better way to do it than a Hobie kayak from Champagne Surplus. These revolutionary boats feature Mirage Drive technology that allows you to pedal the kayak with your feet for a seamless, hands-free experience. Perfect for kayak fishing or a leisurely ride on a local lake. Stop by Champagne Surplus, your exclusive Hobie dealer in East Central Illinois, to check out these top-of-the-line kayaks today. Champagne Surplus, 303 South Neal Street in downtown Champaign.
The deals keep going in June at Ford of Hoopeston and Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Hoopeston. At Ford, save up to $11,000 on the popular Ford F-150 and up to $6,000 off Ford Explorer. At Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get a Jeep Cherokee up to $6,000 off, or Jeep Renegade has $5,000 in savings. Chrysler Pacificas have up to $2,750 in savings, and Ram trucks as much as $6,250 in incentives. Near the intersection of Routes 1 and 9 in Hoopeston, or online at HoopestonChrysler.com or FordofHoopeston.com.
328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. We have pull and we're hooked on you. Tapman's Towing.
Affiliate AAA Insurers.
Cardinals opening a 3-game series in Philadelphia against the Phillies tonight. Chris Raby back with you at Cardinals Nation Restaurant. Cardinals found themselves 6 games under 500 a couple of Fridays ago, and a sweep of the Phillies after some shakeups on both the roster and within the coaching staff helped to get things turned back in the right direction. Tonight, Jennifer Langosh compares that situation to the current club that has lost 5 of 6 and is 6 games under again as we open up the Reporter's Notebook with the Cardinals beat writer from MLB.com.
I feel like that was
maybe a little bit more of a low point 10 days ago, but it's not much different now. And I think the biggest frustration that I sense, particularly in Baltimore, is that here we go seeing an offense finally start to put some pieces together, and now the rotation in many ways has gone off the rails. So this is a group that's very frustrated in the fact that they haven't been able to play well in all facets of the game, really, at any point at the same time this year. It's the rotation was the reason why they were able to kind of hang in there early in the season when everything else was going awry. Now they've got to get that back on track and hope that across the board they can start playing better baseball. So a disappointing weekend in Baltimore. Certainly you see a team that hits 12 home runs. You expect to get out of there with more than one win. The Cardinals show up in Philadelphia, I guess, at a good time. You always look forward to facing a team struggling as much as Philadelphia. So perhaps it's an opportunity to get Rec in the right direction.
Yeah, you wrote about the rotation at MLB.com, and after they had the best ERA in the big leagues through a month ago, they've been the worst. Is there anything to pinpoint why they've struggled, why Lance Lynn in particular, who we saw on Sunday, has struggled, or is it just a case of maybe they pitched really well and now it's a 1 month sample size where they haven't pitched well, and you put all that together and it's kind of just where we expected them to be here in the middle of June?
Yeah, I don't think that they were probably as good as they performed early, but I don't think they're as bad as we've seen lately. I think this rotation probably should fall somewhere in between. And in the end, by the time we're talking in September, I think that's where they'll be. You asked specifically about Lance Lynn. I think we have to remember that this is a guy who is coming off a missed 17 months recovering from Tommy John surgery. And you look at the track record of pitchers who come back from that procedure, that first season back is usually very, very tough, especially with command and being able to get in sync again. I think you're seeing Lance go through that right now. It doesn't help this team either that they're in the stretch of 47 games in 48 days. So you have a rotation that's getting very few extra days of rest along the way. The heat is picking up, all those factors playing in. But, with Lance, I think the biggest surprise was two of them. One, the number of home runs that he's allowed, not just at Camden Yards, but in general over the season, 16 already for him, a career high. But then also the inability to pitch deep into games, right? That was his kind of his MO early in his career with the Cardinals. The thing that you could always rely upon with Lance was that he was going to pitch you 6 or 7 innings, and that's not been there. So, his issues compounded by issues with Michael Wacha, Adam Wainwright, and a little bit of regression from Mike Leake, all of a sudden this rotation that was, again, keeping you in games early has been very vulnerable, and it's not allowed the bullpen to settle in, and it's not allowing some big offensive games to turn into wins.
You mentioned the tax that they put on the bullpen and the fact that a lot of these starters have been worked very hard, no off days between now and the All-Star break, which will come after the game on Sunday, July 9th. Does something have to give? Do they have to do something, you mentioned in your piece, Waka, specifically, to try and bolster the rotation, get someone in there and try to get guys maybe a little extra rest when there aren't any off days coming up?
Yeah, I think that has to come into play. I mean, you can't keep throwing out the same 5 pitchers expecting different results when this is what you have. So this is a huge start for Michael Wacha tomorrow night. I mean, the Cardinals over the last week have considered alternatives for that rotation spot. So it's no secret that his grip on a rotation job is very tenuous. I think if Michael goes out and does not perform well tomorrow, that we probably will see somebody else in his rotation spot the next turn through. Adam Wainwright's leash is probably a little bit longer, Lance Lynn as well. The Cardinals, as far as they've spoken publicly, have not considered a 6-man rotation, so I'm not sure that's in play. But, yeah, I mean, the wear and tear on this group is very evident. And then the question becomes, well, who do you call up? I mean, you have a guy in Luke Weaver who's pitched very well, but he's dealing with a back stiffness issue that's kept him out for the last 10 days. We saw Marco Gonzalez, still a work in progress, coming back from his Tommy John surgery. John Gant has pitched well. Maybe he gets an opportunity. And the wild card, I think, is Jack Flaherty. Are the Cardinals ready to consider him for a 40-man roster spot? So you do have some options. Cardinals' preference, of course, would be that the 5 that they have now can get better and be the 5 going forward. But again, I don't think you can keep spinning your wheels for much longer, especially as you try to evaluate where you think this team is going to be near the trade deadline and what approach the Cardinals are going to take at that point.
And shouldn't that go with the bullpen, too? Because we've seen small stretches of it being better, but in large part it is what it is. And you go back over the last 2 weeks or over the last month, and again, in terms of earned run average and really any way you want to slice it, it hasn't been good, and it hasn't been getting much better. Do you try to solve that internally over the next month before even the trade deadline?
I think that's probably where you start. The problem the Cardinals are going to face at the trade deadline, if they're not willing to concede, is what fixes do you think are most important, right? I mean, I think this is a team that we could all agree it has multiple holes. The bullpen is certainly one of them, or do you prioritize an offense batter, or do you feel like you need to go get a starting pitcher? I don't know where you start. As far as the bullpen, the Cardinals have created a little bit more roster flexibility with some of their recent moves so they can shuttle guys back and forth from the minors if they want to. Maybe some of those pitchers who I named as starting candidates, perhaps you try sliding one or two of those guys into a bullpen role and maybe stabilize things there. Or maybe Michael Wacha becomes a good answer in the bullpen. He's a guy who's had a lot of success the first time through an order. That could look really good in a 1 or 2 inning role coming out of the bullpen. So, I think there's some opportunity there for the Cardinals to be a little bit more creative. It's encouraging to see Brett Cecil pitching a little bit better. I still think he's a big piece there, but around him, they've just had a hard time putting roles and success together. And again, it doesn't help now that your rotation is scuffling and giving you 4 or 5 innings to start. It makes it harder, I think, for those bullpen guys to fall into a specific role.
All right. Thank you, Jen Langosh, for opening up the reporter's notebook with us. When we come back, pitching has been the issue, as Jen alluded to, but Mike Matheny on some improved other areas.
We're watching our defense improve. We're doing some things well on the bases. Still, obviously, making mistakes, but our guys are proactively working on the things that they need to be working on, and those are going to pay off.
The Manager's Chat is next as we get ready for the Cardinals and the Phillies. Back in a moment on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
And the Cardinals have won the game on a home run by the Wizard.
Hey Cardinal fans, Ozzie Smith here for Ameren, Illinois. It's easy to be an energy-saving whiz. Start by installing a qualifying smart thermostat in your home. You'll get cash back and save up to 15% on your energy bills. Ameren, Illinois energy efficiency programs put more power in your hands. That's energy at work. To learn more, visit amerenillinois.com/programs.
Okay, so you're driving a sport utility or crossover utility vehicle and you like your utility without it being utilitarian. You should demand the same from your tires. The remarkable Cursor HSX Tour tire from Mastercraft, specially designed to look great, ride great, and perform even better. With a striking sidewall and tread design molded to an advanced silicon-fused tread compound for a breakthrough all-weather performance. The Cursor HSX Tour, only from Mastercraft.
Visit Tire Monkey today.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
At Body and Soul, they take pride in giving you the perfect fit for your athletic shoes. Their team of experts will help you in selecting the style that fits your purpose and your feet. Body and Soul has offered the best prices and best quality for more than 30 years. And they aren't just shoes. Whether it's walking, running, swimming, or biking, or whether it's for you or the whole team, visit Mike or Jed and their experienced staff at Body and Soul, Route 45 Savoy. Call 356-8926 or visit soulsports.com.
If you really want to enjoy life celebrations, you need to call Rosati's Pizza for their comfortable catering package for 10 for just $92.35. Rosati's will serve you, along with your friends, families, and coworkers, a delicious lunch or dinner for under $100. Feed them all with Italian beef, pasta, salad, and garlic bread. It's all about good food at Rosati's. Having a party, picnic, hosting a celebration? Call Rosati's for their comfortable catering package for 10. Rosati's Pizza, 701 South Gregory in Urbana, or call 328-2334.
Check out the new BMW Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
All right, let's get the manager's perspective as we head to Philadelphia to hear from Mike Matheny. As always, the skipper is brought to you by Webster University.
Mike, how was the off day?
Great off day, John. And I know our guys. We just had one a week ago, but we had a doubleheader trailing it, so it just just seems like they've been kind of few and far between. But right now, every off day is good to get the guys a little breather and hopefully get us on a good run.
It's almost like having 2 days off with the afternoon game ending, and then you have all night Sunday night, Monday, and come out here and go get them. And I see a lot of smiles on their faces. That's a good start.
Yeah, I know the guys all, quite a few of them had family with them and able to spend some time with their family, and that it always seems to re-energize guys. But, this is another park I know our offense loves coming to and loves playing here, and, it plays pretty fair for the offense, and so an opportunity for our pitchers to keep the ball down. I don't think it's going to be quite like it was in Baltimore, but we also know that hitters are rewarded in this park when they get the good part of the bat to the ball, and we have some guys feeling pretty confident right now about their swings.
You swept the Philadelphia Phillies. What did you take away from that series?
Yeah, it was a tight series. Even though it was a sweep, we swept them. I mean, you think about that first game where it came right down to the very last pitch and a beautiful catch by Tommy Pham down the line. And, we were in a bad rut at that particular time with the 7 losses in a row and needed to right the ship, and thought the guys came in and just played well. But this team has some good young players mixed in with some veterans that know what they're doing, and I just don't know of a lineup in this league that isn't dangerous. And you watch the middle of their lineup come up there and they make things happen. So we gotta get back to that well-rounded starting to our bullpen, and I think guys are doing a better job defining their roles in the pen, but I'd love to see that offense continue to give our pitching a little bit of room to breathe.
That would be a big help for your starters who have faltered lately, but they really shouldered a lot of tough innings and close games before they've had this stretch, didn't they?
Well, there was, those first 2 months really as good as any staff in the game, and every day they rolled out there, they were carrying the weight of our club and able to make up some room for the lack of offense that we had early. So now it should go in cycles, but we're looking for that good long run, John, of complete baseball. We were watching our defense improve. We're doing some things well on the bases. Still obviously making mistakes, but our guys are proactively working on the things that they need to be working on, and those are going to pay off. But we know that we have the pitching staff to be that component, whether it's starting or in the bullpen. We've got guys kind of starting to really come through with what we need them to do, and it's just nice to see that the whole package come together, and no better place than Philly.
And with your lineup, 1 and 2 seem to be clicking, and now Stephen Piscotty moves up to number 3 after having a good weekend in Baltimore.
Yeah, Stephen is he's a guy we feel that can fit any spot in the lineup. The way he gets on base, he could be in at the top, but really like what Carp and Dex are doing. I don't think it takes genius to see that they fit into a nice rhythm together, and both of them are swinging very well. So now it's figuring out that third spot, because Jed and Yachty seem to do a real nice job 4-5, and then just kind of plugging and playing with the rest of the lineup. But we have Stephen going in a good direction, finished strong in Baltimore, and hopefully just carries that over, and regardless of where he is in the lineup. But right now that third spot's open.
Lastly, Paul DeYoung has not been here 20 games at the big league level, but it looks like he's been here much, much longer.
Yeah, he's just an impressive player, and I attribute a lot to obviously Paul, but also our development team and our minor league system of allowing a young player like Paul to develop as quickly as he has. A guy that's barely been out of college for a couple of years and has gone through our system quickly, but it has yet to look really overwhelmed. You just see his approach. You see his ability to make quick adjustments to where they can't stay in one particular spot. He's thinking about the game. He's thinking about the opposing pitcher and what their game plan might be, and then he's got the skill set to be able to make those quick adjustments. So defensively, I think it's just everything's been really impressive. The range he showed, the way he moves around the bag. One of those guys that doesn't necessarily have all the flash, but all of a sudden is getting the balls you didn't anticipate him getting to, and has a strong enough arm to play anywhere on the left side of the infield as well. So nothing but positives right now from Paul, but the league's going to continue to watch him close, and hopefully he can keep making those adjustments.
Good luck, Mike. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thanks, John.
Manager Chat brought to you by Webster University. You heard Mike mention Piscotty moving up. It's Carpenter, Fowler, Piscotty, Jerko, Molina, Diaz, Tommy Pham, Paul DeYoung, and Mike Leake. We head to the booth next on the Cardinals Radio Network.
Hi, Cardinal fans. It's Charlie Brennan. The Cardinals baseball season is in full swing, and they're not the only ones stepping up to the plate. It's also the season for pests like ants, carpenter bees, and mosquitoes. These pests are hard at work planning their attack on your home. That's why the Cardinals have teamed up with Rottler. Act now and call the official pest control company of your St. Louis Cardinals, 877-ROTTLER, or go to Rottler.com and we'll strike out pests at home plate.
Hi, this is Rick Horton. As a former pitcher for the Cardinals, I know every winning team has top talent at every position. Each is an expert with standout performance. Here in St. Louis, you can trust the team of local expert technicians at Safe Light Auto Glass to repair or replace your damaged auto glass. Done fast and done right. The Safe Light mobile glass shops come right to you and get you quickly and safely back on the road. Trust Safe Light Auto Glass to always deliver a win. To schedule service, go to safelight.com.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Hello, this is Shane Coulter of Country Arbors Nursery. Country Arbors is your home of locally grown annuals, perennials, trees, and shrubs. And now all annuals are 50% off. Yes, all baskets, flats, and pots are 50% off. Petunias, zinnias, begonias, and coleus, all 50% off. And these aren't leftover plants. These have been watered every day and consistently fertilized, so there's still tens of thousands of beautiful plants at half the cost. Tropical and foliage plants are all 30% off. So come out to Country Arbors Nursery. Locally grown annuals and tropicals grown right here in Urbana, but now at half the cost. You can visit countryarbors.com for more information and directions.
If you really want to enjoy life's celebrations, you need to call Rosati's Pizza for their comfortable catering package for 10 for just $92.35. Rosati's will serve you, along with your friends, families, and coworkers, a delicious lunch or dinner for under $100. Feed them all with Italian beef, pasta, salad, and garlic bread. It's all about good food at Rosati's. Having a party, picnic, hosting a celebration? Call Rosati's for their comfortable catering package for 10. Rosati's Pizza, 701 South Gregory in Urbana, or call 328-2334.
Hey, what are we doing for your birthday party this summer? Well, I was hoping to have a cookout like last summer. What? Don't you remember all those mosquito bites we got last year?
Good news, girls. Not only is Prairie View taking care of everyone's dandelions, now I'm going to take care of all the mosquitoes, too.
Yay!
Enjoy a bug-free summer. For all your mosquito control needs, call Lindy at Prairie View Landscaping and Turf Management at 355-9422. That's 355-9422 for mosquito control from Prairie View Landscaping.
It's all about the best beef, the best pork, and of course,
the sausages.
At the U of I Meat Sales Room. If Coach Ditka lived in CU, I'm sure he'd buy his meat from the U of I Meat Sales Room. The beef is great, the pork is great, but
the sausages
are delicious. Smoked sausage, Italian sausage, Polish sausage, and even brats. It's all fresh, locally produced, and locally grown. Visit the U of I Meat Sales Room near the corner of Lincoln and Florida in Urbana.
The sausages.
The Cardinals have moved on to Philadelphia, and Rick, I think the team and everybody needed a day off after a shell-shock Saturday and Sunday in Baltimore.
Well, you can never really plan those day offs. Of course, they're on the schedule, but there are times where they really do come at the right time. And I agree with you yesterday. Good chance for the Cardinals to regroup and restart in a series against a team, the Philadelphia Phillies, that they swept not long ago at home.
The last time the Cardinals won a road series was May the 8th, 9th, and 10th. When they swept the Miami Marlins down in South Florida.
2-12 in their last 14 road games, so that's been an issue. You think back to last year, the Cardinals had a hard time winning at home, so every year's different. This Philadelphia Phillies team is really struggling offensively. The Cardinals pitching staff, John, all of a sudden is struggling. It was a strong part of this team all season long, but they have really gone south the last couple of weeks.
Well, the Cardinals have scored 44 runs in 7 games, but the rotation has an ERA of 9.39. At what point, Ricky, where the rotation was so good and had to carry the load and pit a lot of pressure and tough innings, where does that catch up?
Well, I think that's what happens. It's a typical thing. We see it throughout baseball season after season where you've got one part of your team that's really covering another part. Maybe it's the defense, maybe it's the hitting, and all of a sudden the other part comes back, and then you've got to tinker with the thing that was strong initially. It's just classic baseball reality. What you really want is everything to be firing at the same time. The Cardinals had that at one point in the season when they were 18-6. I think the pitching was certainly more advanced at the time than the hitting was, but you'd like to get everything firing on all cylinders, certainly going into the All-Star break.
With the lineup, maybe it's taking it position by position. 1 and 2 seem to be straightened out. Stephen Piscotty had a 2-home run game. He's batting third tonight.
and Jed Jerko. We'd like to see him come on strong again.
Well, the 1-2 guys in Carpenter and Fowler are certainly setting the table. They're showing guys the way and offensively. And you're right, Stephen Piscotty had a nice game in Baltimore. We've seen good work out of Tommy Pham for the most part. Paul DeJong has contributed quite a bit. But I don't think offense is what's going on at the moment. Certainly defense was a problem at the beginning of the season. That, too, has been really good lately. I mean, really good. I'm not saying the range has been terrific, but the Cardinals are catching everything. They're making some tough plays. They just can't get the ball out of the middle of the strike zone. That's been Mike Leake's problem. Let's hope he figures that out today in a hitter's ballpark in Philadelphia.
And Leake will be opposed by Jeremy Hellickson, who is winless in his past 5 starts with an ERA of 7.57, Chris Raby.
Well, maybe the bats can stay hot, guys. We'll check back with you in a bit. Weekends Only's mission is to save you money. Come in this weekend for the biggest selection at the best prices on furniture and mattresses, open Friday through Sunday, and online at weekendsonly.com. Weekends Only is a proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. Mike Claiborne next from Philadelphia with Charlie Manuel, now an advisor to the club. That's after this break on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
We, the entertainment-loving people, demand the best unlimited wireless plan ever from AT&T.
I thought I raised you better than to make demands like that.
You know what? We want even more than that. We want AT&T to give us unlimited entertainment.
What else do you want, a flying car?
Well, maybe HBO included in our plan.
How about a unicorn?
And we want to watch all our favorite shows without paying overages.
Good luck with that.
And we want all of this, plus we want to save $25 on our monthly DirecTV bill.
But you can save me $25?
Well, yeah.
I'm proud of you, son.
Only AT&T offers you unlimited data with HBO included and never pay overages. Visit your local AT&T store and get AT&T Unlimited Plus, our best wireless deal on unlimited data. Plus, save $25 per month on DirecTV. It's entertainment your way.
After 22 gigabytes of data usage, AT&T may slow speeds. Plan includes Stream Saver and videos will stream in standard definition unless you turn it off. $25 DirecTV savings requires AT&T Unlimited Plus. Credits start within 3 bills. Service prices subject to change. Other usage, speed, fees, charges, and restrictions apply. See att.com/unlimited for details.
Check out the new BMW Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Sure, we've been called a mom and pop store. We take it as a compliment. After all, we are family owned and operated with 2 generations actively involved, and 5 of our team members have been with us for around 20 years each or longer. We run our business with old-fashioned customer service as our foundation, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Add our great selection of hand-picked mattresses, all proudly made in the USA at guaranteed lowest prices, and we're sure you won't find a better deal anywhere. Visit us and experience the Illini mattress difference today.
Vapors e-cigs thinks it's time for you to take a permanent vacation from smoking. Take a permanent vacation away from cigarettes today. You'll smell better, you'll breathe better, and you'll feel better. Plus, you'll have more money than ever when you choose Vapors e-cigs. Come in today and taste the difference with a premium electronic vape. You can get started for less than a carton of cigarettes. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Vapors e-cigs today. Find them at Champaign across the street from Marketplace Mall at 2 West Main Street in Danville. And follow them on Facebook for great deal offers and giveaways.
The ribeye has the best, the greatest steak in town.
If you're looking for Champaign-Urbana's great steak place, it's the Ribeye Restaurant. Still with their famous salad bar and their delicious seasoned fried shrimp and delicious grilled chicken entrees. The Ribeye Restaurant, 1701 South Neal Street in Champaign. For reservations, call 351-9115.
The ribeye is the best. We're the one, the great one steak place.
Well, it's always a treat when I run into Charlie Manuel, the former manager for the Philadelphia Phillies and a really good hitter in his day. What are you doing these days?
Mike, I've been doing a little bit of everything. We just got through with the draft, and I saw a lot of amateur players. I was in Oklahoma and Texas for like week at a time, and California, came back to Tennessee, Virginia. I was traveling around. And actually, I was only home about 3 or 4 days after spring training was over for the first month. And now we're settled in. I'll start getting to see some big league games, some here in Philadelphia, watch our team. And then, of course, I'll start going back through our minor leagues.
I mentioned earlier that you're one of my favorite managers because during the course of your career, you could do a little bit of everything. So you knew what coaches needed to do. But, man, I always enjoy watching you talk or listening to you talk about hitting. What has happened today where the strikeout is so acceptable?
I think it comes to the fact that, first of all, the pitchers definitely with the all the information they got nowadays with the computers and the sabermetric systems, things like that. They study the hitters a lot more. They know who will take a walk and who likes to swing, especially if guys on base. They know everything about the hitter, and also too, I feel like the pitchers they definitely command more pitches. Especially like splits and cutters and things like that to go with their fastball or slider and a curveball. And I think that they do a good job. Catchers like Molino, of course, like a guy you got. Mm-hmm. To me, he's the one that really, in the National League, kind of invented, widening the strike zone with 2 strikes. He can block balls in the dirt with 0-2 and things like that with a winning run on third. I mean, those are improvement things. But also, I'll get back to it too. I think the guys try to hit home runs more. Yeah. Nobody talks about hitting 300 like they used to. 300 was kind of a yardstick or a measuring stick for people. And nowadays, they talk more about home runs and production. And I feel like whenever you try to hit home runs, I think home runs is something that you just put a good swing or a correct swing on the ball and hit it hard and let it go out. I always say, Mike, home run's nothing more than a well-hit fly ball. It comes down behind the fence. Take your trip around the base, come back and sit down, think about another, next time up, think about hitting the ball hard again. And, so that's, I think they get caught up in the fact that performance means everything, and that's how that they going to get their money.
What did you enjoy most aside from winning when you were managing? Because you had some really good clubs. You went to the World Series, you won there. But what did you enjoy most at the end of the night?
Mike, actually, when people ask me, they ask me all the time, I miss being on a field. Mm-hmm. It really drives me crazy. I mean, I think I'm a baseball guy, but what you might not believe this, but just to come to the ballpark every day, it didn't matter where I was at, even when I was in the minor leagues or in the big leagues, definitely. I mean, those were the greatest days, and I look forward to that. That was a big challenge for me, and it's something that I loved, and also, being around the players, and and definitely winning. I definitely preach winning day in and day out, and I feel like the game is still that way.
I think you also preach the fundamentals a lot too, because when we would come in here, we'd see some really good teams similar to the Cardinals, throwing to the right bases, making the good plays defensively. The fundamentals was something I know you stressed a lot with your guys, and I think you were rewarded with so many wins.
Yeah, I would say, I've been very fortunate when I managed in Cleveland and also here in Philadelphia. We always had some tremendous defensive teams, and and our guys took it real serious. I mean, I had guys like Utley and Rollins, guys like that. They used to always talk about, you got to want to play defense, and and you got to be heads up in the game. You got to be a student of the game, and defense definitely is a huge part of the game. And if you make mistakes, especially in the outfield, you're gonna pay for them. There's always going to be runners in scoring position, and of course that gets back to who's going to win the close game or lose it.
Well, it's always good to see you. I know on behalf of Mike Shannon, who I know is going to be listening, I want to say hello on his behalf. We miss you, and hopefully we'll see you in St. Louis soon.
Thanks, Mike. It's good seeing you, man.
Do you hear that racket? That is the sound of 7 scientists at Exxon and Mobil, thinking, working. Listen. They're discovering the precise combination of 7 key ingredients in Synergy gasoline that helps you get better gas mileage. These science folks sure know how to party. Shh. Sorry. Synergy gasoline from Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here. Fuel economy claims are compared with gasoline meeting minimum government standards. Results will vary. Visit Exxon.com or mobile.com for details.
In Springfield, Missouri, we believe the key to living a good life is simple. It's doing things that matter with the people that matter most of all. So when you're sitting next to friends and family at a ball game, that's what we call the best seat in the house. Visit Springfield and join us for a Cardinals AA game at Hammons Field. Then check out a local distillery, craft brewery, or the granddaddy of all Bass Pro Shops. Just a few reasons. If it's true to life, you'll find it in Springfield, Missouri. Plan your trip at springfieldmo.org. Produced in cooperation with the Missouri Division of Tourism.
Hey, it's Stevie J. Have the roof your home deserves. For your next roofing project, why don't you go with Roof Doctors, a locally owned and family-operated business for over 25 years. They use superior materials. They're a certified shingle contractor, so they can offer a 50-year non-prorated full system warranty, and they won't loan your work out to subcontractors. Hey, Roof Doctors has worked on my home, and the results are fantastic. But don't just take it from me. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, Roof Doctors has plenty of satisfied customers. Get a free quote at roofdoctorsco.com.
You can fly Champagne. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champagne. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You've got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly Champagne. You can fly Willard Airport.
Awesome Machine Sales and Rental wants you to take charge of your yard with Toro. Toro has the quality you expect and dependability you deserve from your lawn equipment. Awesome Machines and Toro has the right machine to keep you inside and cool this summer season. With push mowers starting as low as $269 and zero turns starting as low as $22.99 with 0% financing available. Simply awesome. Awesome Machines Sales and Rental, Route 45 in Savoy, Route 36 in Tuscola, and online at awesomemachines.net.
At Body and Soul, they take pride in giving you the perfect fit for your athletic shoes. Their team of experts will help you in selecting the style that fits your purpose and your feet. Body and Soul has offered the best prices and best quality for more than 30 years. And they aren't just shoes. Whether it's walking, running, swimming, or biking, or whether it's for you or the whole team, visit Mike or Jed and their experienced staff at Body and Soul, Route 45 Savoy. Call 356-8926 or visit soulsports.com.
We got to make Dexter Fowler our UMB player to bank on, right? He's trying to become the first Cardinal to homer in 5 straight games since Ryan Ludwig in 2008. And Jeremy Hellickson in his last 9 starts has allowed 13 home runs, 4 games. He's given up multiple home runs. So like the look of Carpenter, Fowler, and Piscotty. Baseball is next. We'll head to Philadelphia. John Rooney and Rick Corton have the call. It's the Cardinals and the Phillies. This has been the Amarin pregame show. Chris Raby with you from Cardinals Nation Restaurant on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
Hanson's Auto Repair in Urbana is a family-owned and operated full-service garage. For over 40 years, they've offered friendly atmosphere, quality work, and reasonable prices. Whether it's an oil change, brake service, or engine replacement, Hanson's Auto does it all. They're a locally owned dealer who cares, providing fast, comprehensive, and expert service. Family-owned, operated, and trusted since 1966. Hanson's Auto Repair, 1202 East Washington in Urbana. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Visit them online at hansonsautorepair.com.
You can fly Champagne. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champagne. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You've got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly Champagne. You can fly Willard Airport.
Vapors E-Cigs thinks it's time for you to take a permanent vacation from smoking. Take a permanent vacation away from cigarettes today. You'll smell better, you'll breathe better, and you'll feel better. Plus, you'll have more money than ever when you choose Vapors E-Cigs. Come in today and taste the difference with a premium electronic vape. You can get started for less than a carton of cigarettes. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Vapors E-Cigs today. Find them at Champaign across the street from Marketplace Mall at 2 West Main Street in Danville. And follow them on Facebook for great deal offers and giveaways.
Okay, your By Meat Sales Room theme song, take one. The Meat Boat. Soon we'll be grilling another steak. I'm pretty sure that's already been done before. Take two. I'll eat meat with you. I'll eat burgers and brats. Yet again, already been done before. Take three. Meat. The U of I Meat Sales Room on Maryland and Urbana. They may not have clever theme songs, but they do have the best meat in town.
St. Louis Cardinal Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By your quality Ford dealers, the official vehicles of the St. Louis Cardinal. By Snooks Delivered. Order groceries online with snooksdelivers.com. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. By Shelter Insurance. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com for your auto, home, life, and renter's insurance needs. We're your shield, we're your shelter. By Explore St. Louis. Learn more about all the great things to do in St. Louis by visiting explorestlouis.com. By Central Bank, the hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinal. By Central Missouri's beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. Voted the best recreational lake in the nation. Plan your vacation at funlake.com. By Weekends Only Furniture and Mattress, a proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. And by Chick-fil-A, get a free chicken sandwich from 11 to 7 every Thursday. The Cardinals play at home when you sport your Cardinals gear at participating Chick-fil-A St. Louis locations. Now, St. Louis Cardinals Baseball.
Welcome to St. Louis Cardinals Baseball from Citizens Ballpark in Philadelphia. Game 1 of a 3-game series from the city of brotherly love. The Redbirds lost 2 out of 3 in Baltimore despite hitting 12 home runs in the series, the most home runs they've ever hit in a 3-game series. Cardinals starting pitching has been an issue of late. They're 6-12 in the month of June with hopes of finishing strong the last 20 games before the All-Star break. The Phillies, on the other side, have lost 11 of their last 12 games, and they've really struggled offensively. We should have good weather for the series. Temperature will be 80 to 85 degrees and maybe a bit higher, and no rain in the forecast. Partly cloudy here this afternoon as we speak from Philadelphia. This is Ricky Horton alongside John Rooney, and this is stop number 2 of the short road trip, 2-city road trip, Baltimore and now Philadelphia. Game 1 of a 3-game series tonight. Let's take a look at our pitching matchup brought to you by Missouri Farmers Care. Join the conversation on how today's food is grown and raised at MissouriFarmersCare.com. Mike Leake is a 29-year-old right-hander. He'll be making start number 14. He's given up 17 runs in his last 24-plus innings. Not the typical Mike Leake that we saw in the early going. Last time out, he went 6 innings against Milwaukee and gave up 6 runs. The good news, if you want to call it good news, was that the 6 runs came in the first 2 innings. He settled down, and perhaps that will bleed over to this start here tonight in Philadelphia. He's 3-3 against the Phillies, lifetime with an ERA of 5.40 in 10 starts. Jeremy Hellickson is a 30-year-old right-hander. He'll pitch for the Phillies. We saw him in St. Louis. He lost to Michael Wacha on the 9th of June. Pitched pretty well in that game, giving up just 3 runs. He is a former American League Rookie of the Year. He was with Tampa Bay in 2011, where he went 13-10 with an ERA under 3. He is winless in his last 5 starts with a very high ERA, and the Cardinals will hope to get to him early. Hellickson and Leake, the starters. I'll have the lineups for you next.
The deals keep going in June at Ford of Hoopston and Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Hoopston. At Ford, save up to $11,000 on the popular Ford F-150 and up to $6,000 off Ford Explorer. At Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get a Jeep Cherokee up to $6,000 off, or Jeep Renegade has $5,000 in savings. Chrysler Pacificas have up to $2,750 in savings, and Ram trucks as much as $6,250 in incentives. Near the intersection of Routes 1 and 9 in Hoopston, or online at HoopstonChrysler.com or FordofHoopston.com.
If you really want to enjoy life's celebrations, you need to call Rosati's Pizza for their comfortable catering package for 10 for just $92.35. Rosati's will serve you, along with your friends, families, and coworkers, a delicious lunch or dinner for under $100. Feed them all with Italian beef, pasta salad, and garlic bread. It's all about good food at Rosati's. Having a party, picnic, hosting a celebration? Call Rosati's for their comfortable catering package for 10. Rosati's Pizza, 701 South Gregory in Urbana, or call 328-2334.
You buy Community Credit Union for campus and community.
When you think about summer, what comes to mind? Sunshine, picnics, ice cream, and double points. That's right, double points all summer long with the Illini Visa Rewards Card and the U of I Community Credit Union. Now through the end of summer, use your Illini Visa Rewards Card on purchases for gas, groceries, and restaurants, and score double points. Plus, you can score an extra bonus 1,000 points with your Illini Visa for 20 or more transactions each month. Use those points to purchase once-in-a-lifetime trips and experiences. Not a member yet? Visit IlliniCard.org today.